And we're live with Runeterra Academy Senior Class Grand Finals between Return of the Middle Sticks versus Team Ambition Black. My name is Proof of Proofcast. I'm glad to see you all once again. With me, as always, is Miles David. Miles, how are we feeling today?
Well, not as always. I was kind of absent for the past
Ah,
for
true.
the past 2 weeks. I'm sorry, guys. I got sick. Then I had to take the COVID vaccination, so you know how it is. But you know what? At least I can be here. At least I can be here for the grand
Mhm.
finals of Runeterra Academy. You know what's even more exciting, Proof, is that it's not gonna be a Mirage Gaming season this semester because we got two new teams here in the grand finals.
We got two brand new teams in the grand finals of Runeterra Academy. We all thought it was going to be MGM. I mean, let's be honest, right? We
Yeah.
had we had our implications, but
Yeah.
it was I think a best of five gone the distance between Team Ambition Black versus MGM in the semifinals, and then boom, out of nowhere, we got Team Ambition here in the grand finals versus Return the Middle Six,
Yeah.
both of which they're the first time joining RA. You know what that means? That's they put in the grind, they put in the work here,
Yeah.
and
They
they
definitely
do
did.
deserve it. Honestly, I'm so honored to be here. Thank you all for supporting me and Miles throughout this journey. It's been super fun.
Yep, definitely. It's definitely been fun casting with you. Hopefully, the curse doesn't return with me, and we get we get a banger best of five here between Team Ambition Black and Return of Middle Sticks. Now, Team Ambition has been a part of Runeterra Academy for a while, but Team Ambition Black specifically has not. Although we do have some familiar faces coming here into this grand final. We do have Akads and Mark Boots again. This time they're going to be facing off against each other, I believe.
Mhm.
So, guys, some good storylines here, and yeah, I'm excited to just get this best of five underway. I want to see the drafts. I want to see what each team has planned, and ultimately, I want to see some good League of Legends.
Yeah, I want to see some good League of Legends here, and I guess they're waiting for me to get into spec because I'm literally taking a slot in the team. You know, might as well just play
Yeah.
at this point in time. With that said, though, Miles, and for the people who are just maybe there for first time tuning in, because honestly, to be exact, last week was the only time we started as a middle stick on stream. They're stacked. It's a stacked roster. Both sides are, to be honest. But Return of the Middle Sticks 1-3-1 and Team Ambition Black won a 3-2 series. So maybe that has an implication going into this one. Obviously, side selection shouldn't matter too much,
Hmm.
but so far we do have Return to Middlesex on the blue side, so they do have priority in that regard
Yep,
to just draft that B1 pick. It could be the Jinx.
it
It could
could
be the
be.
Zeri. It could be something that they've been working on too.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you have to prioritize Sparko Duck. He's at the top of the leaderboard when it comes to player stats right now.
Mhm.
Definitely want to be playing for him, and this is especially an ADC's meta if they go for
It
those
is.
hyper carries with the Jinx with the Aphios. And as you said, if he wants to go aggressive, there's still the Zeri option as well. So a lot of good options for Duck Go Bark to be able to carry his team with. And on the other side, we have actually Threadripper, who is basically second place when it comes to player standing. So we may see a top lane focused strategy coming from Ambition, or they could throw a wrench in the plans. You know how preparations goes. You want to make sure the enemy team is caught off guard, caught blind at the start of the series, and that momentum could carry you for the rest.
And just a reminder for the people out there who are waiting to do the predictions, please feel free to go all in tonight. If you go all in tonight, you win big time. I
True.
believe we're doing 10 max entries for tickets for the raffles RP giveaways. So, have as much points as as you can going into that, and I believe we will announce it later on who's going to be winning for that one. With that said, though, we're going to be jumping right into game one, draft number one here. Lee
Yeah.
Sin already off the table. Jinx is off the table. Team Ambition Black are like, you know what? We're not going to mess around with this pick right now. It just seems that every team who has this pick has been getting great results.
Mm.
The hyper carry has been surreal. So going into this game, we want to just see what Go Bark or Barko Duck can do, deepening his champion pool. Maybe forcing him on something like the Jin, the Kate. Even if the Zeri is up, obviously that's the top priority, as you pointed out, Miles.
Yeah.
Granted, if Team Ambition Black don't straight up ban it.
Yeah, we'll see if they do. You could almost, I almost expected 3 ADC bans coming coming the way of Team Ambition Black, but instead they decided to ban away the Tryndamere. Very oppressive pick right now. Honestly, can split push, can last super long in the team fights, especially with a lot of the meta champions right now being more burst heavy. It's very hard to deal with Tryndamere if he can just survive the burst and just kill you straight up. So we'll see. We'll see what they have planned right now. Hecarim being banned as well. I've seen a lot of junglers also in pro player decide to go for the Hecarim, which if he has, as you said before, proof. We've said time and time again. If Hecarim has a good early game, he can just basically take over.
And it's one of the worst type of takeovers too. You know what I'm saying? It's it's a Hecarim on the other side, and you're just losing the ganks. As a jungler, you feel so useless on the other side, and you could just see your bot lane dying. You could see the mid lane dying, and then the top lane, which is an island, but Hecarim is just so fast on the rotates. And wait a minute, wait on just a minute. I do not believe this Volibear B1 pick. Sign me up any day of the week. I was one of the few people who were arguing every time I cast that Zach pick is better than the Volibear, but I have changed my mind.
All right. I mean, Volibear is definitely good for a B1 pick because he can be flexed either to jungle or to the top lane, right? He can be versatile in that regard. And so, you know, don't really mind it, especially if you're on blue side. You want to make sure, since you're the side that picks first, you kind of have to show your hand early. And going for a flex like this is really good for a return of the middle stakes to make sure that Team Ambition Black doesn't really have anything to counter just yet. But Team Ambition Black, they're going to go ahead and pick the Nautilus, one of the most picked supports right now. He has a lot of CC. He has a lot of ways to get into the backline. And oh my god, we have a Karthus.
Just sign me up for today, Miles. Just sign me up.
Go.
If you told me, looking at this draft, that it was the finals, I would be like, get out of here, Miles. Get out of here. We have a Volibear B1 pick. We got a Karthus here. What's happening? This feels like a group stage game, but no, it's not. It is the finals. The Yasuo is off the table, which is interesting ban from Team Ambition Black. So I want to see what Mark Boots ends up picking here because he is that playmaker. Vex is still up for grabs. He has been playing Vex a lot in this meta, in this comp, and I feel like we might even see it in this game one because it's on the table. Aphelios is going to be locked and loaded here.
Yeah, why not? I guess it's the next best hyper carry after Jinx. Then below that you have Caitlyn and stuff like that. But Aphelios definitely a good pickup, especially for a player like wait, is it Duck Go Bark or Bark Go Dark?
I think it's Bark Go Duck.
Bark Go Duck. Yeah, there
exactly.
we go. For Bark Go Duck, especially for a carry player like him, he's going to be able to utilize it. And with the Karma pick as well,
Oh,
if
you
you're
got
going to
your
go for
baited. You got your
I
baited,
got you
Miles.
baited. I mean, Karma would have worked too,
tough.
honestly. But Tom Kench definitely a good pick to keep that Ophelio safe. But you know what would be great? If Team Ambition Black didn't put this Karthus jungle and put him in the bot lane. Just to screw over Ophelio. That would be the play. That's the absolute 5-head play Team Ambition Black can make.
Flex the Karthus.
Be like, oh, enemy ADC is better than me. I'm just not gonna play ADC and screw you over with a mage. Easy clap.
Yeah. No, that would be the 5-head move. But the Ari top things off. Miles going into it. We've seen a lot of Aris, right? But no one can compare to the Faker Ari, the playmaker that he is. But nonetheless, this champion opens up a lot of avenues for Team Ambition Black to be able to punish anybody who's walking into places where it's not worth it, or even the AD carry. In this scenario, whoever it may be on Team Ambition Black, they have to be able to respect the Ari. They have to have that disengage. And Tom Kench might be having a lot to do here because it is a Tom Kench. The Devour has to come through. Aphelios is immobile, so he has to put in the work here.
Yeah, that could be a problem though, especially if Ari manages to charm Tom Kench while he has the Aphelios. At that point, Tom Kench becomes the delivery service. You know, Ari just orders takeout. Tom Kench delivers the Aphelios straight into her hand. So definitely have to be careful. And we've seen a lot of great mid players, great mid lane players in pro play Ari. And we've seen so many good stuff from him. I don't know if you've watched the Genji versus DK game, but goddamn, Chovy went off on that one.
You know what I would say, Miles? You know what I would say? If anybody would go off in this game, it's actually Mark Boots. Like, he has been playing Cesar. Like I said, he is the playmaker, so why not give him a playmaker champion?
Yep.
You know, why give him a champion that needs to scale? No, you don't want to do that. If you are playing through the mid lane, that jungle and mid lane synergy has to be top notch. S tier plus. going into it, we're seeing if it's the Karthus, then they're going to heavily rely on those charms. If it is not the Karthus,
Whoa.
then we'll see what the matchup brings. It is going to be a Vayne maybe here.
Wait.
Could be interesting going into the
This
Tom, into the Aphelios. What do we think about that?
I think Vayne's gonna have a very hard time surviving this early game. But if you do manage to get there, you know how Vaynes can be. They can definitely 1v9 any game if they manage to get to the late enough stage. So
AP is not
definitely,
gonna matter. AP is not even gonna matter. AP damage is not
yeah,
going because Vayne is true damage. So
yeah.
you know,
You know what?
if the game's going on late, GG.
Yeah, you know, if there are a lot of enemy tanks on the enemy team, you might as well just pick Vayne and try to go for that. Karma being picked up, I really like this pick to go with Aphelios. They're really setting up Barco Duck for success here with all these picks, and looks like it's going to be Aatrox in the top lane with Volibear jungler. So a lot of gank potential coming from the Volibear. Aatrox is definitely should be able to be sustain himself in the early and mid game and be a wreck as well, but oh wait, is this gonna be a Yorick pick I see? Are we gonna see another curveball?
No. Oh yeah,
Okay,
my heart
okay.
stopped for a second there, and if that was the Yorick, I know a lot of people are scared. You know, kids are scared of clowns, but grown-ups are scared. Teemo and Yorick, in my opinion, I'll put in Yorick there because the main consensus says Teemo. I'm just scared of Yorick too, because this champion, if you are behind and you got the split push, it's just still winning. You're still winning. It doesn't matter. But Irelia is a good pick here. What do we think about that, Miles?
First off, I want to say if you're Yorick, the laning phase ends at the enemy nexus. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But instead, we have an Aurelia. So looking at Team Ambition Black, right? They have so much skirmish potential that they're going to be able to try and take these 2v2s, 3v3s, and stuff like that. I'm going to be looking towards them going towards the top side, especially if this Nautilus decides to roam up there and leaving Vayne kind of to fend for herself. It might be very hard for All For One, but if he's able to play weak side and continue to scale up while the rest of his team is causing chaos, that could be the way for Team Ambition Black to win out on this game. Meanwhile, on the side of Return of the Middle Sticks, they kind of have a more traditional team fight. 5v5 comp with making sure the Aphelios is protecting and fighting front to back.
But that is the Aphelios condition, right? Let's say if the Aphelios is falling short here, if that lane is completely shut down, then the problem becomes heavily tailored towards this Volibear. Like, he has to carry the early game here because he isn't to the Karthus. The Karthus just needs to be farming until he's level 6, right? So Return the Middle Stick have to flex this Volibear as much as they can towards the lanes, get the gank on Ahri maybe, shut down the Vayne, any possibility of that. Because obviously the win con, when you look at Team Ambition Black, is definitely tailored towards that bot lane, right? Getting that Vayne to that late state and getting that Karthus as well to accompany her on that damage scale. So it's going to be interesting to see Return the Middle Stick's approach on this game because they do have a couple of avenues they could certainly take.
Yeah, and it's definitely not like it's a guaranteed Aphelios will win late game straight up, right? There is still a Karthus on the enemy team, and if he gets tagged once, that's basically GG, and he just gets bursted down either by Ahri or by Karthus. So definitely, Barco Duck has to play safe. He has to make sure that he's able to output the damage the rest of his team needs, because he's basically the only one doing it, I guess, with Aatrox. But when it comes to those late game team fights, they are going to be dependent on him to bring out the big guns.
Yeah, he has to punish the fact that it's a Karthus on the other side, right? Utilize the level 3 on Volibear to make things happen.
Yeah.
And I know how he plays. I know how Alexis plays. He plays pretty fast. I mean, he's owning up to that name. You know, the card go fast. That's it. That's it.
You want fast Volibear. You want fast Volibear. He's going to be charging at you straight up. I guess the only thing faster would be Hecarim or Rammus, but, you know, we're probably not going to be seeing Rammus. Sadly, we're probably not going to be seeing Rammus. But, yeah, Volibear definitely going to be charging.
It's still fast, Miles. You know the name, 2004 Lexus? He's still paying payments for that. He has to make payments monthly to keep that name. What do you think Riot is getting most of its income? It's actually Lexus providing that. But anyway, besides the point,
in partnership with Toyota, that's what happened.
Oh man, the premium is high now. No insurance. Volibear is just running it down right now. We'll see what he's able to do. Obviously, Aatrox is a great pick here as well in that 1v1. Obviously, if you already see the Irelia on the other side, your initial reaction should be, oh, wait a minute. I could play Garen into this, right? And just totally hard stomp that lane.
I feel like as a gold player, that's my immediate initiative. That's my immediate thought, but we'll see what Blind is able to do on this Karthus pick. Definitely is still a good pick into the early, since he can disrupt a lot of what early wants to do in the early game. However, if Threadripper gets ahead, it's not gonna be fun for it's not gonna be fun for Return of the Middle Sticks. That's for damn sure.
Yep. We're gonna see how this game gonna pan out. I like both sides. I like the picks here, and if you guys are watching this right now, feel free to go ahead and vote now with your channel points, because obviously, like I said, I'm gonna be reminding you like a broken record throughout the whole stream. It's all good, because we are doing huge skin giveaways for those for the lucky winners who have tickets. So you can't get tickets if you don't got channel points. You can't get channel points if you don't predict. Am I right here, Miles? Do I sound like a philosopher already, or what's going on?
As someone who studied philosophy in uni, you've got it, definitely. Go gamble, guys. That's the philosophy.
All right, well,
responsibly. All right, before Red kicks my butt.
Yeah, no, yeah. Red doesn't watch this. He's probably not even watching. I've never seen Red actually tune in a stream, and
I only see Red.
Wrong.
I see Red around when I mess up and say something stupid. Then Red comes in. You know, it's like he has a sense for it. Oh, he's right there. He's right there.
He's here. No, he's here in the chat. All right. Well, with that said, let's talk a little bit about overall predictions. Because let's say you're a gambling man, you're gambling at it. You know, you gotta get your fix in this game. Where are you putting your money on?
That's a great question. Honestly, I would take the reliability of Return of the Middle Sticks comps, but you know what? I'm super excited for Team Ambition Black's team comp. It's good. They're gonna make things happen, and I'm all for it.
All right. Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's see who sets the tone here, who gets the win, because it's the start of many, many great moments. With that said, Team Ambition Black take on Return of the Middle Sticks here in Senior Class Finals, best of 5. With that said, we'll return the first game on hand. We'll be right back. afternoon, gamers. We got one heck of
Gamers.
gamers. I say gamers. It's a loose term. It could be
Yeah,
bots.
definitely.
It could be anything at
We're
this
not
point.
trying to
But
offend anyone here, but yeah, gamers.
gamers, it is. Yeah, but this is gonna be one hell of a series. Miles going into it. I'm suspecting it's gonna go the distance, depending
Mm,
on how this first game goes. Obviously it's gonna set the tone out there. It's gonna send a message, right? Especially in the
yeah,
solo lanes. That's when you try to get in your opponent's mind because this is not a sprint. It's not an 800 dash. It's
yeah,
a marathon. So it's
yeah.
like you got to dig deep here. You're most likely playing multiple champions here. It's not just gonna be the same champion over and over again, unless you're support. Support stay on the same champion. We don't care about that.
It's basically gonna be a triathlon, right? With people doing different things, and we'll see how. It's not just about skill, right? At this point, it could also be about endurance, depending on how far the game's going. Especially considering, well, we have two teams that kind of do want to go to the late game. We do have a Cortes, Aphelios, and a Vayne, so we'll be seeing if it goes that far, or if we'll be having a lot of skirmishes and one team snowballs to the other. But yeah, I'm gonna be looking definitely, as you said, towards the solo lane, especially towards top lane, which I think is the most volatile out of the three lanes right now.
Yeah, this Irelia. How do we feel about Irelia? Because every time I see a highlight, she's just like either getting a pentakill or a quadra kill, and the healing is insane. I mean, even if you get grievous wounds, it's not gonna stop her from healing. And if she's
Yeah,
finding the 1v1 angles, it's trouble.
it's honestly a really good pick right now. I see a lot of pro players decide to take it and can really be strong when it comes to the mid game and fighting over those dragons, which is still heavily prioritized when it comes to these coordinated team plays because of how reliable it is. Aurelia can, if she ends up winning lane, she can just snowball super hard. So
Mhm.
a lot plus she can last super long with the shield bow and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see how well Threadripper is going to be able to utilize this Aurelia pick. Of course, he has to be doing something with it. He can't be, sitting back and just deciding to wait until late game. Otherwise, even Aurelia, when it comes to the super late game, she can kind of become a bit of a liability because she doesn't really offer anything besides her skill shot CC. So
Well, with that said, 2004 Lexus already making his way towards the top side. Maybe he wants to spill blood and wants that to be the Irelia early, but guess what?
both junglers
Castle
are
around the
here.
corner as well. Yeah, both junglers are here. They really want to double down on the top lane, but
Castle.
they're going to be with each other. Castle's not that healthy, like we said. It's a
Oh.
late starter for this Karthus
no.
and a Volibear putting the dent in the HP bars. Blind could possibly find the kill there, and there it is. Return of the Middle Stills, back-to-back kills. 2-0 start. They hit the ground running here.
Yep, definitely. Very, very patient play from Lexus there, making sure that he was ready for the counter gang to come up. I'm not sure if he predicted that Karthus would be there, but it was really, if you're the thing that separates good junglers from great junglers is whether they're always at the right place at the right time. Lexus definitely was at the right place at the right time right there, and that made all the difference.
I mean, he was there first, right? Sensing that there was going to be a battle over the top lane.
Yeah.
Probably the communication was like, yo, Blind was telling Alexis, I really want to go in on this Irelia. I really want to get this kill early on before she gets that level 6. She just out-damaged me and when she gets the items in. And surely, for Blind to have that kind of reinforcements from Lexus is definitely really good. It's going to put Cass a little bit behind here. Yes, he's going to have to be starting off with an 0-1 Karthus, but he shouldn't have that much of a problem catching up.
Yeah, definitely. Especially considering how fast Karthus clears the jungle here. Now, the curious part about the top lane, though, the wave is crashing up, but Aatrox does not have teleport. He instead opted to go for the ignite, which definitely helped in the skirmish. Not going to help so much when it comes to CS. So that wave is going to be lost to the tower right now. The wave is going to be it's going to start slow pushing towards Threadripper. So even though he did die, the lane state is in a very favorable state for him.
Honestly, yeah, that's that TP advantage, right? Especially early on. Like, you don't need to unleash TP. Like, you don't have it, so like you just use it in your lane. Now they go for the quick back here. So Irelia, despite going down like that to Blind, is pretty much chilling all the way through here. The early game is a bit slow for at least Team Ambition Black. But they do have small advantages here, partly due to this TP. And Karthus is just storming through the jungle camps here.
Yep, I mean, that's what Karthus does. He clears fast, Eventually gets the late game and just one shots you later down the line with his ultimate. So we'll see how well Castle does. Lexus definitely needs to be more active as well in the early game. He did a good job with that gank, but we need to see more coming out from him. We need to see more of that advantage being leveraged. Possibly go down to the bot lane where Barco Duck is and try to give the affiliates advantage as well. Or he could just keep snowballing top lane. Blind's definitely in a good position to be able to do that right now. He did end up buying armor to make sure he can counter the healing from Aurelia, and so should have an advantage when it comes to any 2v, when it comes to any 1v1. But right now, though, it looks like it looks like Castle wants to converge over to the dragon.
Yeah, I mean, we're right on the topic right here, dragons, right? Like, how important are the early objectives going to be? Because I know some teams approach the game like, okay, we could afford to give, let's say, the early Drake, right? It's not going to matter too much if we, in turn, get the Rift Herald.
Yeah,
You know, which was just the first Rift Herald. You got Blades stand, and there's a lot of cash to be had on the map. So sometimes it works out for them that way. But I see a lot of other teams that are like, okay, if we have Prio, we should just go for it. Those are free Drakes. We should also still prioritize that Rift if we have the chance.
The LPL way is to prioritize the Rift Herald because they value the gold more. They value items on their carries a lot more than just getting a few early Drakes. So definitely a call that they could decide to go for. Rift Herald isn't there yet though, and in the top lane, looks like Threadripper is getting a good advantage for himself. So Team Ambition Black could decide to go for that. Go for that play if ever Karthus decides to go for something down there in the bot lane. The added gold should be able to help. Help out if they put it down in the bot lane. I think they need to make sure Barco Duck gets ahead as soon as possible.
It's gonna be the Affiliates versus the Vayne, a matchup that, to be honest with you, I have not seen all that much here.
Yeah, same here.
RA, so I can't wait to see how this pans out. Both of them do have the possibility of obviously carrying. I just think the true damage, you cannot compete with that on the side of Vayne. It's just going to become unbearable at some point. If this game goes on for like 50 minutes, you got to have answers. So you got to really double down on that pick. But they do have 2004 Lexus playing on this Volibear, who's piloting the champion, who's in turn able to get you those dives under the turrets. He disables the turrets for a couple of seconds. So that is huge here. They do have Abyssal Dive. It says it in the name on Tom Ken. So this is kind of a dive comp when you look at it, right? You could chalk it up to that. It can be.
It can be. Oh, wait.
Oh, huge. There it comes. 2004 Lexus. He literally shatters the earth there. I felt it all the way from here, man. That Ari got dunked on.
Oh, man. Right in the middle as well. You do not want to be in Markwood's place right now. Said the flash was used along with the ultimate, so making sure. But the priority, excuse me, the priority is on the side of is on the side of return of the middle stakes, and they're going to go immediately for the free dragon. And there's not much at the bot lane. The bot lane of Team Ambition Black can do in that regard. So they're gonna have to give that one up and continue to just farm this one out and wait for Karthus to get stronger and Vayne.
I think it's the right call, in all, for Team Ambition Black to not contest there with the bot lane that they do have right now. Turk, he is notoriously aggressive in his games early on in the split, so I'm expecting him to kind of start roaming here once he feels that Vayne can fend for herself. That's an all-in here, but alt is not burn. Yeah, once you see the alts, then it gets serious.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, once you see the alt, that's when you know. But one thing I do want to shout out is All For One actually getting a big CS advantage over the Aphelios, which, when you think about the matchup, right, you definitely expect the Aphelios to be the one ahead, especially since he starts with his Crescendum, the ranged gun, as the Big Wave is going to be crashing again. Threadripper is just managing this lane super well, and Blind's having a really hard time keeping up right now, unless he can manage to get the freeze on here. So yeah, as I was saying back in the bot lane, we have to shout out Turk and All For One for getting that big advantage, because honestly,
All For One. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because honestly, you know, the top player when it comes to stats right now, Barco Duck, and they're able to surpass him, right? Really cool to see.
No, I definitely agree. Turk has to put in the work here, and we just saw a glimpse of what he had in mind. He actually went into the mid lane here, stood in the line brush, maybe waiting for a hook, and he is implementing his playstyle, right? Trademark Turk here, trying to go for those heavy skirmishes, early skirmishes, helping Mark Boots get ahead here. And Mark Boots needs
Woo!
all the help he could get, at least this time around. You could see they are fighting with mere HP here. He's in a kill range, so one auto attack or one ability from Yuna will put him on that stretcher. But
Yeah.
again, look at the Volibear. Look at 2004 Lexus having to dominate the Rift early on with this Volibear, making his way towards that early Rift signifies that he knows what he's doing. The win comp for him is just to provide
Ow.
as much pressure as he can before this Karthus overtakes the game.
Yeah, definitely. As the ultimate, the Requiem is going down. I think that was just used because, you know, why not get some extra damage and make sure that Ari doesn't get dived over. Because it looked like Lexus was going over there, and looks like he's still gonna go over again. Coming from behind, get ready. Something's happening.
Let's see. Are they gonna really put the jump on this Ari, or I think Volibear is
They're
going
gonna go
for
for
the
it.
intel. Oh
Oh,
yeah, there it is. He
oh,
just literally
it's a
shatters
trap.
the earth, cracks it open, but Castle was around the corner. Lexus wanted to just be on one target, and that's Mark Boo. Seeing the castle there, he's just gonna back away.
Well played from Castle and Mark Boots to be able to get away from that gank. If Lexus has gotten that kill, would have been even a bigger of a nightmare for Mark Boots, especially considering, you know, he is the playmaker of the team along with Turk. So if they put him behind, he's gonna have a very hard time finding any impact. And if the area has no impact, it's basically it's basically free for Barco Duck to go completely haywire and just completely take over the game.
I think that's just instinct at that point, right? For Castle to path the way that he did, Lexus ulting the time that he did, and now they're looking for a possible pick. However, they know it's a bit too dangerous to go in too deep now that they don't have a whole lot of vision. However, you can see that blue horde down there picking up a whole lot of intel for them. So for now, they're just going to be focusing elsewhere on the map, getting this bot lane fed, getting it pushed nice and easy, dropping that rift as well, going to pick up some plates. Yep.
It's one of the best feelings as a Colorcaster when you predict something's going to happen and then it actually happens. I don't think there's anything like it.
No, yeah, just you're the prophet, bro. You're a prophet at that point. One time I've said that the end was gonna end at 30-minute mark, and it actually did, and it was a very close
good,
one.
right? It felt
you
good.
Felt good. You felt good. You feel good, brother. You take those.
Yeah, you take those. You feel like an absolute prophet in that regard. You feel like the blessing of crumbs has gone upon you.
Well, yeah, I mean, what are we predicting now? The game state is pretty much up for grabs for anybody who wants to take that driver's seat. For now, it has been 2004 Lexus. No pun intended there. He's been the playmaker, obviously. We talked about that Volibear pick. Just what we expect. This is playbook, kind of textbook League of Legends. You got Castle, who's piloting a late gamer. He's just going to be passive throughout the game, honestly. So Volibear has all this canvas, all this map he can work with, and we've been seeing he's been doing quite well.
Yeah, definitely. Lex has been doing a lot with the space to be given. It's not like Castle is failing at this job as a jungler. It's just that when you pick a champion like Karthus, the game warps into your favor. Oh wait, Castle and Ripper.
This is the first gank we're seeing from Castle, and look at the HP bar just getting down on Blind. That's going to be Threadripper getting the kill on, or sorry, that's Castle actually picking up the kill, and the assist goes to Threadripper. But that means that 2004 Lexus has enough time to secure the bot side objective. Ocean is going to be the solo, Miles. I don't know if you're a favorite, or you favors Ocean.
I mean, it's really good if you want to be able to stop a lot of bursts. All for one, though, is going to the other side, and the dive's coming in.
This is a very good play by Return to the Middle Six. They see the opportunity to go in, but they don't predict that they're going to collapse on this soon, this early. And they have to give the sacrificial lamb, or sacrificial bear goes down. The shutdown goes to the right target. That's a Vayne with one. And Castle picking up the double here. Yuna, unfortunately, tried to save the allies with the movement speed, but did not. Blind obviously doesn't have the TP, so he's a long ways away. Yuna fighting a lot of damage. Turk just walks away in the meantime. That's 3-4. This is exactly what Team Ambition Black needed. An overstep from Return to the Middle Six for them to punish.
Wait, All For One might have gone overstep himself. Never mind, he's definitely going to get out of there. But what a heads-up play from All For One. Instead of going back towards the safety of his team, he moved forward into the turret, making sure that the dive would take a lot longer than it needed to, and buying enough time for the rest of his team to get into place. The teleport came in from Threadripper, and Blind cannot respond. He does not have a teleport of his own, even though it's past 40 minutes into the game and he can teleport if theoretically onto a ward or something or a minion, but fortunately just wasn't there in time, and it was a 3v5 that definitely ended up in Team Ambition Black's favor.
And it's partly due to that TP advantage that we talked about, right?
Yeah.
Then Irelia, obviously knowing that, used that in the right time, the right timing, and away from blind,
Oh
as
no.
far away from possible. Speaking
Oh.
of the
Oh.
top lane, that is a beautiful kill. Castle picking up the 4th one, and now you could see the wheels turning. You could see the plan for Team Ambition Black. It's coming to fruition, and this Karthus is causing havoc on the Rift.
Yeah, already the zone is completed. Karthus is 2 items ahead already, ahead of anyone else. He's the only one on his team with a mythic. And
That's Leandros too. He's gonna burn you. He's gonna burn down all the tanks on the other side.
This is a Karthus you have to watch out for. Watch out for definitely. I would not be surprised if he picks up a Dark Soul next and tries to go for a Magi. That would be I think that would be the next best item for him to be able to take. Because
Super
right now
snowball.
he's snowballing out of control right now. Castle is in control right now of the jungle matchup, and Lexus, he did his best. But as you said, with a team comp like this, if you try to do something, if you try to play the aggressive team and try to go for plays, one mistake could land you in hot water. And right now, it looks like Return of the Middle Sticks are in a lot of are in lava.
I mean, I have to also give credit to a lot of the players who are in senior class, because this meta has been really tilting. You know, you could be doing everything correct, everything perfectly, but one team fight is going to lose you the game, right? That one big team fight. And speaking of that, we got an early skirmish coming out. Akax just can't even get away there. Abyssal dive. Used to tap it too late. Castle picking up the 5th one in the game. And they're just going to focus on this Rift. Are they going to let it go through? Lexus actually is going to get collapsed on, so he needs to maybe go out with a bang here. He's looking for a kill, but Castle, understanding that goes golden, not giving anything to the Volibear. Castle, again, way ahead on that jungle matchup right now. 600 gold bounty. Rift, however, is secured by the Volibear, so that's something in return. Maybe silver lining, you could say. They need to down another turret. At least they got one for Return of the Middle Sticks.
Yeah, everyone's pretty much equal except for Castle, who has the gold lead right now. He's the reason why Team Ambition Black are ahead when it comes to the gold lead right now, and definitely not surprised with the way he's being able to play. Very reactive, of course. He didn't do much in the early game. In fact, ended up giving away his life, but he managed to come back. That's just the ability of Karthus, you know. As I said before, this is a pick that really warps the game. So if you have a Karthus on your team, you are playing for the Karthus no matter what.
I mean, are you even playing for the Vayne at this point in time?
Yeah, I think all for one's the extra.
Yeah, he's just an extra at the movie, you know what I'm saying? He's in the background, yeah. Even though it's like a heavy damage dealer, we're discounting as that side character. And we'll see, you know, if Castle just gets too tired of carrying, you know, has to take a break. Obviously, All For One is there to just carry on that torch.
All For One definitely, at least the second guy to the main character right now, because he's been making some really heads up plays on this Vayne, and the fact that they're not concentrating him means that it's basically like shooting fish in a barrel right now. As imagine a 4-stack on this Karthus.
Oh, wait a minute, though. This could be a bad fight for Team Ambition Black. Okay, the ults are burned. They didn't get anything out of it. They are doubling down. I don't know what they're looking for here, but Blind goes all the way to the back line. Maybe we'll find something. Mark Boots already getting that first pick, and the hook is just turning bad to worse for Return of the Middle Six. They are dying here, but Philios, with the help of Atrox, they do turn this around for the sliver of that time. Marco Duck is super close, but that's the triple coming down from this Irelia Thread Ripper, putting in the work here.
Oh my gosh, Philios just doesn't have enough damage to be able to take them all down. They were so low health as well, but even if Karthus dies, he can still output so much damage. Turk did manage to save All For One from the Requiem, but still, even sorry, not Turk. My bad. Akad managed to save Barco Dark from the Requiem, but still, even though there's not enough peel to keep him alive and keep him doing damage.
He got
later
one
into
kill,
the game,
though.
maybe he got one kill at least, yeah. But maybe later in the game he'll be able to do something. But right now, he's just not outputting enough damage to kill anyone.
But it's a good sign. It's a good start, right? Like that, they know the affiliate is working. You know, sometimes you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah, yeah.
check. You just gotta press buttons a sec. Sometimes you know what the best cheese is, bro. And I've seen this in my solo queue game, bro. Don't ask me how, but before we loaded in, or after we loaded in all chat, somebody typed, "Yo, if you want to dance, press F." And of course, a Yasuo in the mid lane does that, and they burn the
Of
flash,
course, it's a
dude.
yes.
Of course, it's a Yasuo, bro. And I kid you not. Uh, but they were mega smurfing, so I guess they did it for fun. Who knows? But we got 20 minutes on the clock, 6 to 12, and we're seeing, like I said, the wheels turning now for
Yep.
Team Ambition Black. This was their win con, and obviously they haven't stirred away from that path yet. And 2004 Lexus, yes, he had a great start. Yes, he had some ganks in here, but the Volibear is going to feel a bit bad matching up against Castle at this point in time. He is behind an item. Arthas has his Zonias, has a Leandris. Going for Morello's, I'm assuming, here next, but it's just going to be interesting to see how Lexus actually makes objectives hard to fight over against. Like we saw him actually ult into the pit in the bot side neutral objective. He went for the smite fight, so he has that access into the pit. So as long as he has the ulti, Castle still has to understand that if the junglers is up on the other side, it's a 50-50 smite.
Yeah, at this point, if you're on side of return to middle sticks, you're thinking about what can the team do to get back into this game, right? Because the game is starting to run away from them. It's only a 3,000 gold lead, but definitely Castle being this fed along with All for One is definitely a cause for concern. And right now, what they have to do is stick to the game plan of what their team comp strengths are. Right, try to go for these big front to back team fights. And to do that, I think Blind needs to start worrying about, instead of outputting damage, he needs to start peeling for. He needs to start peeling for Bark Go Duck. So I expect him to go for the more HP heavy bruiser items to try and mitigate that, the Styrex Gauge and stuff like that, to make sure that he survives long enough to protect his ADC. Make sure that he can output the damage he needs, because Barco Duck can only need one more item before we get to that 1v9 Aphelios that he became Aphelios that the champion is famous for and got memed over time and time again for 10,000 years of champion design and stuff. 200 years, my bad. I extended
years,
right.
yeah.
It's 200 years champion design. I need to work on my meme knowledge when it comes to League again.
Yeah, bro, it's the finals here, Miles. We got to be on point, but so far, speaking of being on point, I have to say this Irelia needs more credit.
True.
Having the TP advantage, okay, that's like, you know how when people say like bodybuilders, even after this might get controversial. A lot of bodybuilders say it's genetics, right? Whatever it may be. But for Irelia here, it's been the summoner spell advantage, right? Like before even the players had to chance to duel here, truly on the 1v1, right? So the Irelia has created herself a nice surmountable lead through the TP, but the fact that she has been able to get 237 CS at this point in time. Speaking of, that's a big oops for Turk. Not where you want to be. I don't even know if he dropped a ward down. He was just chilling there. Got bored, but died at the end of the day there. So I don't know what he wanted to do there, but it definitely is going to leave them with a man disadvantage.
That's definitely at least not, we can say for sure. He did not want that to happen. But 35 seconds, he'll be alive 5 seconds before the dragon comes up. So he's not going to be there for the fight. It looks like it's going to be a desperate gamble coming in. Sorry, not a desperate gamble. I had things considered the wrong way around, but it looks like the side of Return of the Middle Six are going to leverage this advantage they have right now to try and make sure that the river is under their control and to try and make sure that they can be able to get something. But instead, it looks like the ping is going over towards the Baron. Team Ambition Black want that instead.
Ooh, this is a tic-tac-toe right here. Example of, you take one thing about on the map, we take another thing, right? So they're trading these objectives, but it's a really impressive thing. Now you can see they are rotating a bunch of members on the side of Return the Middle Sticks in hopes of contesting this Baron, but
the fight.
They are too late. Turk here, revenge back pull here, dredge line, and a beautiful charm right on the target. They needed this one. Yuna taking a very low. This could be very violent. Air is going to get taken with Requiem dropping down. He's going to blast multiple members actually down to half HP. You could see Threadripper went in for the kill. Death Blow finding one. Mark Boots just throwing out those charms just for the fun of it. There's nobody on the other side. He's just throwing out those charms, seeing if it still works. But that's just a beautiful sequence of play that shows you why they drafted Mark Boots Ari. This shows you why they drafted the Dredge line, and they played that one impeccably.
Yeah, the pick potential coming from Team Ambition Black right now, absolutely insane. Especially since it's hard. It's definitely hard for the side of Return of the Middle Six to engage
Mhm.
upon their opponents, right? Because even if they do decide to try and go in, Atrox can just get bursted down immediately, and then there would be, if they try to go in with Blind and Lexus going forward,
Mhm.
there's no one to protect the backline. Third Ripper is just going to have a beautiful time down there, making sure that Barco Duck has an extremely bad day.
Yeah, Threadripper just has that possibility of just latching onto you, right? Once he gets close proximity, it's just GG on the early. So you want to kite away. You want to be able to have Barco Doug have a safe distance between those melee champions. The only melee champion, obviously, on the other side is this Irelia, and you could arguably say Turk as well, right? But has the dredge line is what we're worried about. The hook that landed, that's what opened up the entire fight there. So you still have to respect the fact that you don't have vision on the top side at all from this side of Return to the Middle Sticks. So these close quarter fights are going to come down to positioning.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll see who has the better positioning right now, as they did sacrifice the third Drake for it. So this is going to be sole point for the side of Return of the Middle Sticks. And if they want to win that game, they need to be able to get that dragon. Otherwise, things will start to look worse and worse for them as the gold lead continues to balloon in favor of the side of Team Ambition Black. Already a 7,000 gold lead because of all the towers being taken down. And right now, there's not much they can do besides weather the storm, wait for the opportunity to present itself, wait for a mistake like what Turk did down there in the bot lane. Because otherwise, if they try to go for something, the game could end just right now, just right here, right now.
Exactly. Like, they have enough lead here from the side of Team Ambition Black to just be like, okay, you know what? we have our fun this entire game. So let's just try to end it here. They have the Baron buff minions here, obviously escorting him. There's a second tier turret at this point in time. Red Ripper might get engaged on. Chemtech not used. Chemtech is one of the interesting items here on the wall bit, right? Usually you do go Divine Cylinder if you're trying to carry, but Chemtank here is going to offer them the pick potential on the right target. So I do see the agency that this build has. But interestingly, when you look at the Volibear, they are going for some nature. Speaking of that, that's why they're going for some nature, because there's a lot of AP damage coming down. Requiem will pick up the assist there for Mark Boots, getting the second kill in the game. Nicely done on the Ahri. Finding the charms, finding the plays, and now they're going clockwork. From bot to mid to top, they're just trying to take down the inhibitor turrets. Let's see if they're able to.
It's so unfortunate too for Blind, you know. He built for lane. He has the Death Stance, he has the Gore Drinker. He has the armor boot. He has the armor boots, and then he gets picked off by Mark Boots and Castle, who are both AP. So it's just, it's so unfortunate.
Poetic.
It's just unfortunate. He's trying to lane against Threadripper, but Threadripper's not the one laning against him.
Yeah, Threadripper is just somewhere else entirely, a league of its own. It's 10 CS per minute. The only person who's keeping that up right now is the Threadripper. So, question mark Smurfing? What's going on here?
Wait, Vayne just built a Frostfire Gauntlet. That's not something I've
What do we
seen
think about that?
That's a very good question. I'm not sure what to think about that, actually. He decided, I guess he just wants to last as long as possible, but you know, it makes sense, especially if he can if he can slow people down to make sure that he can peel for himself, because you know, All For One is practically on his own most of the time. There's not many people who's gonna peel for him because Turk is trying to get a pick along with Mark Boots and Castle and
all the way in the top.
Yeah, so he has to make sure that he can protect himself at least. And if he's able to slow people down, he can kite them easily.
That might be a good question for interviews later on. If you go through there. That's a flash all in by 2004 Lexus, and now you can see this fight is getting dirty. They're all going for blows. Bones are crushing. Blood is spilling, and Threadripper's coming out on top. And you could see Team Ambition Black have multiple members. They are just running away with this fight. Yuna wanted to do something here, zoning out Mark Boots, obviously, but Mark Boots is getting better of him. One level ahead. Oh, wait a minute here. Yuna might have actually gotten away with this play, but Rugman comes through. Mark, which all he has to do is just finish this off, and it will be the ace. In fact, in the meantime, Team Ambition Black are concerned with inhibitor turret, the inhibitor as well, and the base is in shambles. Miles.
Return
of the Middle Sticks. This could be it for the game one.
Yeah, might be. We'll see though. Turk just gets killed by the tower. All right,
They're
and the next
still
one is
going there.
exposed. Yeah.
They're still going. That's interesting. Mark Boots actually gets a better than them, and we got a Fallon dive. Hello. And there it is. First one in the book so far, and Team Ambition Black works successfully together, and the teamwork is there. The warm-up, you could see they put in the work, and they do so in a great way. 700 gold bounty on Threadreaper, mind you, and 10 CS per minute.
Oh my gosh. I mean, what more can you ask for from your Aurelia, right? What more can you ask for from your Carthus as well? They did a really good job, and for some reason, I gained a key for watching that game.
Wait, what'd you say? What'd you say? You got a key?
Yeah, I got a key fragment for watching that game. I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore, man. But I guess it's the
Uh,
grand finals of Runeterra
uh-huh.
Academy. Thank you, Riot, for showing us your showing us your support here. But yeah, anyway, talking about how everything went. Right,
Mhm.
it just went from bad to worse as soon as that bot lane, dive failed. And return
Yeah,
to
that
middle
one
six
big fight.
failed to get the advantage there. Everything just completely blew up in their face, and it's really
I would
unfortunate to see that happen.
I would argue, I would take the side to say that it came down to, and this is very, very extreme. It came down to Castle passing the mid lane around Mark Boots. If that kill went towards return the middle sticks in the mid lane, that would have possibly gave them so much advantage there. Mark Boots would have been on back to the fountain. Castle wouldn't have been there. But the fact that Castle got so lucky on the pathing and stopped that dive from happening, not only did it tax Volibear's ult, but it just made sure that he kind of caught up the rest of the squad, which Castle was behind, right? Died the first time around. So that's a very extreme take, obviously, but I think it just came down to those little plays that we saw
Mm,
Return of the Middle Stick try to make, and Team
yeah.
Ambition Black were just there all along.
Team Ambition Black got the first hit on the minion. That's why they won.
Oh man, that's even
We go further back
yeah,
into the
that's for a
start of the
different
game.
channel, Mize. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you're enjoying the show. We got one game down in the books. We got hopefully four more to go. I don't know if I'm cursing or not. But with that said, we're gonna take a short break. We'll be right back with the second game. And we are back. Good afternoon, gamers. Miles, we're still on gamers now. It hasn't changed. With that said, that was an astonishing game, and we saw Team Ambition Black come out on top.
Hmm.
However, now they're on the blue side. Things have changed here a little bit. The dynamic has changed, has shifted, and Return of the Middle Sticks now have a possibility of counter picking one of the solo lanes. Do you think that was the problem for them? Because obviously everybody knows if you're on the red side, you could maybe save your last pick for that R5 top lane or mid lane. Would you say that was the problem here going into it?
It may have been. Honestly, they didn't have too much engage to be able to get on top of on top
Mhm.
of either Karthus or Vayne as quickly enough as they wanted to. And the fact that they had a very hard time going in, especially since they had to try and protect the backline of Aphelios, you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place when it comes to that team comp. They were able to do well in the early game, so I'd like to see more of that from them. But yeah, as you said before, if you decide to draft a comp like that, that is kind of dependent on having a good early game, having a good mid game, having a good late game. If you make one mistake again, specifically a comp that has a Karthus in it, it's just hard to really come back from it. It's like if you see someone draft Karthus, I think you
Mhm.
immediately need to switch your mindset to stopping that Karthus as much as
Yeah,
possible.
exactly.
It's just unfortunate that Lexus wasn't able to do that.
I think he tried though. Like I
He
would
tried.
give
He
him credit.
tried.
You
Yeah,
could
yeah.
see
He
it, right?
tried.
Like the first blood, he was there. And I'm just saying that again. Like Castle just got lucky on the pathing there. I think it would have snowballed even more for Lexus if he got that mid lane kill on Mark Boots. And then again, maybe Team Ambition like are getting lucky here, but they are making the right calls as we are concerning with self was the calls. With that said, what should be one pick? For Team Ambition Black, they have that opportunity. Is it going to be the Zeri? Is it going to be the jungle pick? Because last game, the B1 pick was Volibear, right?
Yeah.
So that was the jungle pick. Do you think Team Ambition Black should have that same approach, or we think it's just going to be one of the ADCs?
Might just end up being one of the ADCs. I'm not sure if Team Ambition Black, will
Mhm.
decide to go for a flex pick. They could decide to go for something like the Aurelia again, but might be too easily countered by.
Garen.
Yeah, might be too
Insta
easily
locking Garen.
countered. Yeah.
Dude, it's so annoying playing that in the mid lane. Mid laners think that they're cool when they play Irelia, and then they see the enemy team get Garen. It's just like it's so easy in lane. Like it's not even close.
Let's just hop in call and tell them to play Garen just for once in this group.
But it was funny. I saw a recent video with Faker. He was literally playing perfect. What's his name? Twisted Fate. Like literally perfect Twisted Fate in the
Mhm.
mid lane. He got the kill. Uh,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, but I really made it so close by just pressing two buttons. It's crazy. It's like the champ is designed to fight in close quarters, and some
Mm,
champions are not, right? Like obviously, the Twisted Fate's job is not to like get in your face and just win those trades.
mm.
But we saw that last game, Irelia was getting those chances, and it was hard to kite away from her because they have the dredge line, they had depth charge from Nautilus, they got a lot of engages, they got the charm. So it's just a matter of time that Aurelia was going to come out on top and do a lot of damage. That's what
Yeah.
we saw from Team Ambition Black. Maybe they could B1 pick that one, but you said it's a bit risky.
It's definitely a bit risky. One thing I'd like to see return of the middle six change up though is to put teleport on their top lane. I feel like if they managed to at least try and counter that bot lane dive with a teleport of their own, it could have been a much more easier fight. Especially since at that point of the game, Aatrox is definitely one of the more stronger picks.
Mhm.
So give him teleport. It's not like the ignite really helped him out in any case anyway. Even when they decided to get the first kill, it wasn't the ignite tick that killed the Aurelia. It was just him and Lexus playing better and predicting what the enemy would do and countering that. So
Mhm.
I'd like to see some more heads up play from the top lane, and hopefully they can bounce back from this because
We
I don't
want
want
them
to.
to, obviously. We want it to come down to the last game. Let's
Yeah,
just say
not
it.
yeah.
Let's just say it.
We want it to come down to the last game. Team Ambition
Mhm.
Black, don't make this a 3-0, please. No, I'm just kidding.
If you're asking them, that's a bad sign. If you have to ask them, I don't want them to do it out of pity. I want them to do it out of competition. If
Yeah,
ROTM
give us the
are going to
goodest.
rise to the
Give us the best
occasion here.
competition. Yeah, give us the best competition here. This is the grand finals of RA Senior Division. So we want to see who is the best of the best after a struggle. So let's see what they got for us as we head right into Champion Select right now. Tryndamere getting taken out of the table. I think that would have ruined Aurelia's day if Tryndamere was also picked as well. So definitely get that ban out of the way. And return of the middle stakes. I wouldn't be surprised if they adjusted and put Karthus on the ban list right now.
Yeah, but put it on the ban list. Who cares, man? You know, like you don't want to give it over right now.
Oh,
Possibilities are endless. They could even be one pick on the side of Team Ambition Black. If they had an option to pick this Karthus, they'd be like, okay, you know what? We're running away with this game yet another time. The pressure is going to be on ROTM to make anything happen. Obviously, they actually banned out the Nautilus. That says a lot about Turk.
Yeah, it definitely does. I think Turk was extremely invaluable in how All for One was able to get his lead in the early game and made sure that Barkyo's duck is, he is leashed. He is not able to completely take over the game from that point. And Turk was definitely essential in that. The aggressive plays that he made down there in the bot lane and the way he's able to zone out Aphelios and Tom Kench, which is very hard to do, especially since when it comes to advantage, right? It's Aphelios that has the advantage, but Turk managed to negate it somehow. Maybe if only we had like a replay of what happened down there in the bot lane, we could see how it really panned out. But the camera likes to favor top lane and mid lane because there's always fighting.
I don't know why. Maybe it says it's more interesting. I don't think it is. It's more interesting to see what's happening in the bot lane. But that's the state of Season 12. I've seen a lot of top laners just taunt each other while there's like a 4v4 happening in the jungle in the bot lane. And that's just how it is. You just got to roll with the punches.
Top lane is a gentleman's agreement.
It is. Oh, it's the safest place to play, at least the beginning half of the game. Like,
unless you get countered, then you hate life.
You hate life. It's very coin tossy type role, I would have to say.
Either chill or absolute dumpster fire and stuff.
Like you're either like a Shaolin monk, like just zen moments throughout playing like your favorite champion, or you are like legit tilted all the way and as toxic as double lift for everybody who talks to you. With that said, is this the Hecarim? Is this the Hecarim, Miles? We were talking a little bit about this last pick. If it is, then what are we going to expect here? It is a B1. Yet again, it is a jungle B1. Just like ROTM managed to pick the Volibear, it's going to be the Hecarim for Team Ambition Black.
Looks like Castle really do be favoring those junglers that have fast clear times, and definitely Hecarim's one of those junglers, so decided to go for that. Gonna have a bit more to do in the early game, though. He can't just sit back like Karthus farm up. Hecarim, late game is comes down to using the Onslaught of Shadows and making sure that he can disrupt the enemy team. So he needs to start he needs to start getting on the warpath and making sure that the rest of his team can get ahead, or he can get ahead into the enemy jungler via by counter jungling. And I would like to see the Trundle pick. I think would be really good in counter what Hecarim wants to do instead.
But here's the thing, Miles. Return of the Middle Six opted to ban one support and two junglers, leaving Mark Boots Victor up for grabs. So that could spell disaster because now not only they have left it open, they didn't choose to pick it themselves. So it is going to be the Ari pick from Return of the Middle Stakes and the Zeri here, which is interesting. It was up. We forgot about that. We totally forgot about the Spark is on, but that shouldn't be a problem. We're going to see her in this game. We got two good carries, one of them who's able to be very mobile and very annoying. I mean, both of them, never mind. With that said, Seraphine seems like to be the general answer to this, maybe, to just slow down things and create the distance you need.
Oh my gosh, look at all this AoE. They're like, Zeri and Ari has dashes. We're just going to cover the whole map in CC. That's what we're going to
do. we could ult on you 5 screens away, and maybe you could react to it. Maybe you can't. It's just we're going to leave it up to that.
Yeah, pretty much. We'll see what the Seraphine can do. Could be ADC, could be support, possibly could be mid lane as well, which would be interesting to see. So the flexibility is still there for what they want to do, and it allows Team Ambition Black, even though they're on blue side, try and counter what Return of the Middle Stakes are trying to do as well. Because Return of the Middle Stakes, they're going for heavy skirmish comp right now. I can tell you that with the Zeri and the Ari.
It rhymes, Zeri and Ari, you know what I'm saying? So it's maybe that's the synergy they're looking for. Names that rhyme.
Names that end in re. That's
who else? Zeri, Ari. Man, I'm totally blanking. I don't think there's any other ones, right? I could be mistaken.
Trundle, that rhymes, right?
Okay, Miles. All right. Yeah, that rhymes with other stuff.
English teacher, by the way.
Yeah. Well, we were talking a lot about Zyra Khans this season. At least I was talking to myself about that whenever you were not around. I was thinking it would be nice to see that in the finals. And are we going to see that in the finals?
Wait, I blanked out. What did you ask for again?
Zion Rakan, Miles. Zion
Oh
Rakan. Is
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. All right. I think we may end up seeing it because I think a lot of ADCs when they don't have like the Aphelios access to them, they don't have the Jinx,
Mhm.
they kind of default back to the side, which is a hyper carry by her other which is a hyper carry that can sustain herself, but I don't think her numbers justify it because it takes 4 items before Saya becomes really effective compared to like
Mhm.
Aphelios and Jinx's 3. So it takes a lot more time for her to ramp up. Probably wouldn't like to see it that
It's a
much,
turtle.
but I think Rakan is still a really good support that can play into anything just because of how versatile he could be with disengage.
Yeah, laning phase is going to be hard for Rakan, but outside of laning phase, we're going to see those heavy engages, the shots being called to go in, and possibly try to get to the backline, which is this area. And Ari should be somewhere in the middle of that, so
Mm.
we're going to see the VIPs under a lot of attack from the other side. Obviously, this Rakan has that prior also to roam, maybe, because we've seen Team Ambition Black Turk roam with the Nautilus around that 5-minute mark, maybe trying to get that pressure into the mid lane. And speaking of the mid lane, Return to the Middle Six actually are banning mid laners now because Team Ambition Black opted not to pick the mid lane right now, opted not to show their hand despite knowing that the Ahri is on the other side. So this is an interesting route that the Team Ambition Black have decided to go with, because they
Yeah.
could easily have picked their mid right now. It could easily have been the Victor, which I think is ideal for Mark Boots here.
Yeah, honestly, they could have gone for it. They decided to go with Seraphine instead. I guess for
That could be
I
the
get
flex. Maybe
it
that
could
could be
it
the
is
flex.
it is just the flex, right? You can have
Yeah.
Seraphine go as an ADC or as a mid laner. She can be effective either way. And if Seraphine decides to go mid, Ari will have a hard time interacting with that lane. Let's be real. But it said it's going to be extremely aggressive coming from the return of the middle sticks with the Leona picked as well.
Ooh.
Oh wait,
Is it
wait.
going to be the Blitz? If it's the Blitz, then you can't sleep at night. From
Oh
yeah,
my.
you can't. You're gonna be shaking all the way to the late game. Obviously, that level 1 is crucial. He has that rocket grab. You have to respect that. So you got to play
Mhm.
safe. Maybe counter invade if you think they are gonna go for the invade, but that's very risky. The Silas seems to be hovered here, so at the end of the day, the Seraphine will not be maybe the mid pick here. Silas is also one of those champions who wants to fight early on.
It would be very interesting if they go for Silas because there's not too many valuable ults that you can get from the enemy team right now.
Mhm.
So would be interesting to see Darius being picked up for top lane, and he's going to be blinding this. Which that would be very interesting to see if Team Ambition Black decide to go for it. I guess if you don't have if you're not going to go for the Aurelia, they go for the Bruiser instead. They did lock it in. It's going to be Darius in the top lane.
Ooh. I mean, are you hearing the fireworks, Miles? I don't
Yeah.
know if you are, but inside my brain, the fireworks are going off. It is indeed a Darius top lane.
I
Now,
see it
this
now.
pick,
I think I hear the cries of a million top laners instead, crying in despair. Actually, I think that's what the sound
uh,
is.
Darius is haunting everybody. It's just in your dreams, man. Rent free, rent free. Is this gonna be the Gnar into the Darius? It
Oh my
is.
gosh.
Thinking ahead, actually. If it is the Gnar, yes, it's thinking ahead. It's thinking that, okay, Darius is going to fall off at some point in time. Gnar is going to be crucial in the 5v5s. Has that Mega Gnar considerably tanky. And I've seen this matchup all too well to know that Gnar just needs to play close to the chest here. Play a bit safe into there, especially early on. Wait for the ganks and then wait for the team fights.
Yeah, we're saying that Nar should play safe, but there's also a Silas and a Hecarim on the enemy team, so that top lane looking mighty tasty right now for Team Ambition Black to go at if they want to go for a dive time and time again. I think I think Lexus will be key to making sure that doesn't happen along with Yuna. If they're able to counter what Team Ambition Black wants to do, it could be the key for them to win out. Also, they need to be able to use the Fog of War well, especially with this Blitzcrank. If they can manage to get control of vision away from objective, it is extremely dangerous for Team Ambition Black to try and face check.
And you know what season it is, right? Like, not gaming related, but I will make it game related in just a minute. It is tax season. And just like the IRS, Trundle is going to be running around and taxing players' flashes here in just a minute, which I do like that. I like that pick because it's so scary. It's one of the all-time most banned junglers for me, to be honest, because it's always super hard to go into it, especially if it's countered. And I don't know how Hecarim is going to play that matchup because you usually don't want to run into each other that often. Hecarim probably has other priorities here. And what would that priority be, Miles, if we were to kind of dive into the minds of Team Ambition Black with this type
No.
of team comp that they have drafted themselves?
Snowball this Darius. That's the number one thing they have to go for right now. If Darius can get ahead, he can basically take over the game, honestly. And this Darius is also like in the last game, but it was in ROM, but it was the return of the middle sticks who had it. Darius is probably not going to be running TP. He's going to be running Ghost to make sure that he can chase down the Gnar and make sure that he can kill anyone that tries to run away from him. So return of the middle sticks, if they can leverage the lack of TP on the top lane, like what TAB did against them, then that could be the way for them to be able to win out. But man, I feel like this is gonna be just a very skirmish heavy game where teams are just gonna go for blood time and time again.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot of bloodshed here in this second game. It's not going to be that slow, right? A lot of these champions don't want to be waiting around for things to happen. They want to be making those plays, and obviously you got the Darius, no doubt about that. The Darius has a timer as well in any game to make things happen. And the Hecarim, obviously piloted by Castle this time around. He did pretty well, last game with the Karthus. A whole lot different champ this time around, though. Hecarim relies on teamwork a lot. You need to be timing your ults very effectively. And most importantly, that mid lane and jungle synergy, I feel like the Ahri Trundle versus Hecarim Sylas is very explosive.
Yeah, definitely. Could be something to look at, definitely. But I think Sylas didn't really have any good ults to pull from until Gnar was picked, and then suddenly Sylas got a lot more valuable. So
yeah, Sylas was like, "Oh wait, no, why did I pick this chap? There's nothing to pick on the other side."
And then
if only Sylas could pick like hijack champions. So here's the thing: would you rather Sylas hijack alties that are in the game, or alties that are from champions who are not in the game? So
definitely
like vice versa.
I feel like
definitely in the game. I think outside of game, dude, there's like more options to choose from,
well,
right?
So
it's like,
but that wouldn't be very fun if I was able to get every.
That's when I would quit League.
What would
that's
the UI
the
look like for that? What would the UI look like for that?
I
There's
don't
like
know.
more than 200 champions and almost 200 champions in League at this point. You press R and suddenly every champion, every ultimate just shows up on your screen, blocking everything.
Yeah, you can pick like anything, and the anxiety at that moment is going to be all-time high. But from this game, at least, we know that Mark Boots is going to be cycling maybe the Gnar ulti with, I don't know.
It's most probably the Gnar. It's probably most
or the
probably
Ahri to get away.
Yeah,
I like the Ahri ulti on Sylas because he could just go in and out because he needs to catch the Zeri somehow, right?
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good for him. But definitely, I think Gnar is the priority because when Sylas in the game, he is essentially the better Gnar because he doesn't have to worry about the rage bar.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see what how this game pans out. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, this is our Mark. This is our Q. We're gonna toss it over to short break. In the meantime, we'll be right back. This is Team Ambition Black versus Return of the Middle Sticks. Right after this.
actually almost 400 followers on Twitter. Let's go.
And we are live again. Shout out to Wookie for timing that perfectly. Every time we hop on, it's the lady. It's the League of Legends voice lady saying welcome to. What does she say? I even forgot.
Summoner
I have
Shift.
short
Summoner Shift. Summoner Shift.
No, I thought she says welcome to Aram. I've never heard her say that, by the way. But here we
Welcome
go.
to Aram.
welcome to that blitz hook that forces the flash out of All for One. By the way,
That's,
Miles, I got a tricky question for you.
Yeah.
Barco what?
Barco what?
Barco what? You're supposed to say Barco duck, bro.
Oh, okay. I mean, he lost me.
Whatever,
We should have
man.
talked about
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We'll
should've
get there. I should have told you before, but it's
should-
all
that
good.
should-
I like to keep things live and fresh. I'm not gonna tell you I'm gonna ask a question before I do. That's
Man,
takes the fun out of it.
I was getting my analytical brain ready. All right, what's the question Previous gonna answer? He's gonna talk about the build. He's gonna talk about the fact that All for One has teleport right now. I'm gonna talk about everything else. And
None of
instead,
those.
It just became.
None of those.
I was caught off guard. Not gonna lie.
It's okay. I gotta keep you on the edge there. Well, that's it though. It's interesting pathing coming out. Maybe we could dive right into that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, both junglers starting on the opposite sides of the map, so we shouldn't expect too much interaction from them, which makes sense as they do want to to clear out their junglers as fast as possible. But it looks like there may be a cheese opportunity that Trundle decides to go for, or a steal opportunity instead. Looks like they did have intelligence. The ward was placed down after Blitz decided to go for the hook to see that Heracterm did start down there in the bot lane. So Trundle gonna go for a tricky steal.
And Akata is looking for the rocket grab. Hextech flash. Hello, anybody? Okay, like nobody saw that. Like pretending like nobody saw. Oh, actually, maybe nobody did.
Oh,
Wait a minute, nobody did. Turk, actually, that's the wrong target. You want to pull? They could just go back out.
yeah, I mean, still damage onto the which is really good. Barco Duck getting a huge advantage right now in this early game, hitting the level 2 first. All for One in turn, having a harder time controlling this lane right now. And if Barco Duck is able to, pop off then that'll be very hard for them to be able to control. Because Zeri is a wild champion right now.
That's like the minimum that you could say about Zeri. Like wild champion doesn't even cut it close, I think. But
2022 champion.
but one of the funniest things I actually seen recently from Azeri is that she's trying to one-shot a champion, but takes 100 shots instead. But speaking of that, did we get the flash tax there? It's actually the ghost tax. Nicely done. 2004 Lexus doing the work of the Trundle that I kind of anticipated that going into it and just running around, being the IRS in the game.
Yeah, very, very few champions are able to 1v1 Trundle at any stage of the game. And it looks like they're going to punish even more. Castle tried to go for something along. Mark Boots onto Yuna.
Actually, Yuna is very, very good on the Ahri last week. That's why they won the game. Speaking of that, Lexus finding free ranging out is going to force out the flash from Mark Boots. Coming down pretty hot. Castle with electrocute. Gonna back away, but I don't think he has enough camps. Maybe he should recall here. Yep. Castle gonna decide to take a quick back as well. That's the Blitz as well. Turk realizing that the Blitzcrank is missing. Maybe should have made a play happen, but Akata has a roam on him.
There's the double thumbs up. There's the double thumbs up, and Castle right now is having a very hard time. His buff was taken. He lost both scuttles. And now he found himself really far behind when it comes to the jungle matchup, when it comes to pathing. And Trundle continuing to push ahead. That's what you like to see from Lexus, who apparently really good with this Trundle. So we'll see what he can do in this jungle matchup right now. And it's going super well for him. On the other side of the map, it looks like Darius is getting ahead. I'm not too surprised here in this early game because Blind has to play very carefully unless he's transformed into Mega Gnar.
Yeah, especially in the earlier stages of that matchup, right? You don't want to give anything to this Darius. He is looking for you to make a mistake there. Speaking of making a mistake, meanwhile, 2004 Lexus wraps around. I think they want to have the green light on this pull, and yet they do force out the flash. Turk will be safe, though. However, that was the standard play they needed to make. Ideally, you want to pull all for one there, and because they don't have the flash.
That was so beautiful, honestly, from Akkad, able to get that back. He's piloting this Blitzcrank super, super well. They realized that Lexus is still there. Yeah, they're risking trying to go for something more here.
Akata could possibly get this pull, but it goes wide. Not the way they wanted that to play out.
Damn it! I shouldn't have complimented
wasted a lot of time
for that. I shouldn't have
complimented. Like, let me take that back, Miles. Thank you for making it look good on stream, but
he missed on a pillar target. Rip.
On a pillar target too. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. Somebody should make a montage of Akata this entire game, like of the blitz hooks that he misses, instead of.
I feel like that's mean spirited. There should be both. The ones he hits, the one he misses.
If he wins, they should make it so the ones he misses. Actually,
yeah. If he wins, the ones he misses. Oh wait, Castle in a lot of trouble.
Pretty fast on the collapse. They do land the charm. First blood secured by 2004 Lexus, and guess what? Mark Boots is there, getting ignited. So he wants to. Oh, that's a good hook. That was right on target. All for one. He is going to go one back to the fountain. Meantime, they collapse onto Mark Boots. They get the jump on him. Yuna with the first kill in the game. 3-0 start for Return to the Middle Sticks.
Oh my god. Return to the Middle Sticks. They came out of the gate running here. They're immediately getting on. They're immediately getting the counter invade right there. They know that Castle has to try to do something risky, try to go for invade to get back into the game, and they were able to counter it beautifully. And Yuna, I do not know how, but managed to weave the charm around the small raptor and immediately caught Castle with his pants down.
Oh, he stole the blitz ulti here, but do you want to get hooked though? That's the question.
Oh no.
2004 Lexus, he's not where he wants to be. He now has to run away, outnumbered. Akata tries to help with the hook, but does not work out. Team Ambition Black are outnumbering the opponents at this point in time. They are bullying their way into that double kill, equalizing the scoreline 3-3.
I'm never complimenting anyone again.
Oh, Miles. Oh, wow.
I like bad, huh? That was great for Return of the Middle Sticks. They came out the gate swinging. They're gonna do everything. Then they overextend, and that happens.
Yeah, it's just a matter of numbers at that point in time. Who had more bodies, right? So
yeah.
Mark Boots had a great choke point there to zone them out, and Akata throws out the hook, but not too confident, right? Like Blitz needs a space sometimes to like be able to predict, kind of do that geometry.
Oh,
Oh, again, misses, but it's all good. All for one. Maybe we'll slow down here, but not really. However, something to point out now is the fact that we both have the Rift Herald and the Drake up on the map.
mm-hmm.
We'll see where the Prio leads these teams, whether it's going to be top or mid or bottom.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think for either side, both would be good. For the side of Return of the Middle Six, they want to continue to be able to snowball this mid jungle and bot lane. It would be good for them to be able to take both objectives ideally. We'll see if Team Ambition Black can put a stop to that. They're at least, I don't think they're going to be able to defend this one, and they aren't going to be able to trade over the Rift Herald as well. So things going right now for Return of the Middle Sticks in this early game. Even though they kind of did give up 3 kills in the mid lane, things are pretty much still dead even between these two.
Yeah, it's pretty slow too. I mean, you could say it's pretty slow, but
Man,
I'm
there was
expecting a
some-
lot of bloodshed. I'm expecting a lot of bloodshed now going into the mid game.
I did
Looking good.
We did say that it was going to be a skirmish heavy game, and so far it has been. But yeah, definitely want to see more. We want to see more fights around the objectives as Trundle's making his way over towards the top side, but Cirque is there as well. And it looks like they really want to be able to secure this drift route for themselves, at least ensure the trade and not let it fall into the side. Return the middle sticks. Oh no.
Oh, but the charm with the chains, good timing. Yuna might be able to get away. And yes, they do. It just came down to that timing. If she missed that charm, if she used that charm a little bit earlier, then Mark Boots would have definitely got away with the trade there. But that's the nature of mid lane here from both these champions. They both have kill pressure.
Volatile.
However, Mark Boots is not running that Ignite, so he needs to be extra careful when he walks in.
Yeah, it's very volatile right now in the mid lane. If you know, man, whichever mid laner missteps will get punished heavily. Both mid laners are really good at doing that. Both Silas and Ari. So if so we'll see whoever makes a mistake first, because especially in these high pressure situations, right? It's the grand finals. You're in game 2. You're either up 1 game or down 1 game right now if you're in Return Middle Six or Team Ambition. So the pressure is on you to be able to win this one. There's 100 people watching you right now play. It's these are not situations we see in our normal solo queue adventures, man.
There's a thing, that psychology study that says people perform better when there's a lot of people watching them if they practice the game long enough. And I'm assuming all these players have practiced the game.
They probably
They don't play anything besides League, you know what I'm saying? So maybe they should go to talk to their family a
Are you
little
telling
bit,
them to touch grass right now?
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, technically speaking, they should perform better when there's a lot of people watching, as you do point out that fact. But I'm expecting some nerfs to be there. Like you said, it is a grand finals, but those should be long gone now. And Castle decides to go all in, and the pullback is good. Blind now outnumbered 1v2 will go down. That was an easy pickup for Threadripper. And he's gonna be happy with that one because the Darius has some meat on the bone to chew now. More resources means maybe they could snowball a little bit more, providing good enough pressure on the top lane.
Yeah, and we talked about that, right, in the during the champion select, where I said that Blind has to be able to play safe when he's not in Meganarm form. Otherwise, that happens. It will happen consistently if Blind isn't able to leverage, his disadvantage against his opponent, and make sure to know when to push on when he is on the weak side of the map. Otherwise, he can and will get punished for it.
I want to see how they punish this not Ignite Silas liking the Ignite. But wait a minute, though. It's going to be cheese. It's like,
Wait,
all
they
right.
know.
Oh, it's the counter cheese. Wait up. Hold up. I don't believe it. Lexus doesn't believe it either. He's like, I don't want to believe what just happened. We were there. They acted like we were there. And they ended up pulling the trigger there. 5-3 lead now for Team Ambition Black. On the blue side, they are looking really good. Not going to lie.
Yep, advantage goes over to them. Lexus, that's very unfortunate. I feel like he should have realized that something was up as soon as they decided to stick outside of the bush. Probably should have realized that it was warded, but sometimes, you can be a bit too patient. It's also possible.
Yeah. I mean, they were probably thinking, yeah, they surely cannot see us right now. I'm just waiting for them to walk up. That's why you got to take acting classes if you're a bot laner. You got to pretend you're not noticing the jungler when they're there, So you got to improv a little bit.
Yep, wait. Castle?
This is not a good look for Castle. Initially, he
Or
had
is
the
it?
right plan in mind.
Oh,
He needed to get that kill before everybody else caught up, and now he's trying to salvage some type of win for him, but that is a beautiful engage by Mark, who's turned this one
God.
around. That's a huge dive right into the back line, and Yuna will walk away. Without Mark Boots, that play could have gone way worse. Now they walk away with 2-3.
that was a really good play from Mark Boots, managing to steal the Blitz ultimate and then using the AoE for damage. Deleting blind off the map, and then there was just Threadripper and All for One able to clean that up. Beautiful play coming from the side of Return of the Middle Sticks. But they wait, sorry, my bad. Beautiful play from Team Ambition Black. We need to see they're starting to pull ahead when it comes to gold here. But Return of the Middle Sticks, unlike before when they were down in gold, it still feels a lot more dual. It still feels very doable for them to win out.
Very
on
close,
this
yeah.
yeah. So it feels a lot closer. They're gonna go for the dragon right now.
They do have Prio. Why not? They have Prio, but Castle has Onslaught of the Shadows, does not have Ghost. He's going to be the first one to get knocked up. He's going to go back in the line. Oh, that's a beautiful Encore. Connecting on the right target. That's Yuna down, the carry down, the mid laner.
Wait, Lexus got it.
That on the side of Return of the Middle Sticks, but Lexus got the Drake, so they're going to be happy with that trade. They lose 2, however. So I don't know if that's worth it at longevity. They are 2 Drakes, so maybe they're thinking back. They're going to be like, okay, you know what? We're 2 away from Soul, so that shouldn't be too bad.
Yep. I mean, so the Soul again, Return of the Middle Sticks are able to grab it for themselves, and this time we do have, I believe, Quick Glance bugging on me, but I do believe we have Mountain Drake next. Probably can be corrected, but
yeah, it's bugging on me too. I don't even think the producer could tell us. I don't even think. I'm not gonna get political, but anyway. You know what's the funniest comment I've seen? I've seen the roast. I'll get to that in a bit. Mark Boots goes in, and this is just the beauty of Silas.
No.
So whoever he's against, they're going to get shattered to pieces there, and he's going to heal him off. Mark Boots having to burn the flash earlier and TP shortly there too, is just going to be relying on the team now to put the pressure. He can't go bot lane, so he needs to just walk there. They lose the turret there. So that's something for Return of the Middle Stick. Now you could see Zeri and the Blitzkrieg are rotating mid lane, so they're just doing textbook League of Legends play. They got the bot lane turret, they're gonna get that mid lane turret. Mark Boots didn't have TP, so he just has to walk there. He could have saved the turret maybe, but who knows?
It's gonna be a Hextech Dragon, so even more interesting about the plays that these guys can make. Akaz could come in from a weird angle if he chooses to, or one of these players can end up inting. We'll see. We'll see what happens, because Hextech gates, they're kind of they can be very risky but also very rewarding. So we'll see what comes out of that. But right now, the game definitely. I said before that the game was still even, but after that dragon fight, definitely now in Team Ambition Black's hands.
And Team Ambition Black literally have the best case scenario for their team. They're not off too bad. They're not off, I mean, perfectly, obviously. You can see that they had a couple of mistakes here. Castle was punishing them heavily. But they're okay. They're where they need to be. They need to play through Blind, who needs to scale back into the game. The Zeri hasn't died a single time, so that's a good sign. Yes, the Blitz has 2 deaths, but that's not the worst case scenario, right?
No, it's not. Definitely not. There's still ways for Rune to Return of the Middle Six to be Return of the Middle to be able to fight back on this one. But advantage is slowly going more in favor towards Team Ambition Black as they're getting more and more resources on the map. As Mark was in a lot of trouble.
Oh yeah, he's getting outnumbered there. There's no way he's gonna go away.
No.
Actually, the heal comes through. Mark Boots gets the kill and goes golden. How is he
No
able to do this
way.
and lives at the end of the day? Oh, that's a head scratcher there from Return of the Middle Six. They fail on a 1v4.
Oh my god. Mark Boots got away with murder right there. He micromanaged that absolutely perfectly, using the area ultimate to be able to use Spirit Rush to be able to get away and bait his opponent mid laner in towards the turret. And he had the stopwatch to make sure that he could survive that. And oh my god,
And guess who died? It was Yuna with the flash up. And he had the ult on the Ahri. Literally, he could have gone 5 screens away from the turret and maybe survived there, but Mark Boots found the damage, went golden, just flexing at this point.
I'm pretty sure that was illegal. I'm pretty sure we need to get the police involved here.
You gotta get cited for that, for sure. Investigation is underway after that.
That was some daylight robbery we just saw right in front of our eyes, man.
Yeah. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that at this point in time. But that's what we want to see in the finals, right? Some one-sided shenanigans, like some outplays. And I know Mark Boots from way back last year when I did see him playing a couple of Masters above leagues, and he was just performing just the same way. Actually, one of his plays ended up being in my early queue was just that good. He literally went golden against an Akali when he was like 1 HP and he still walked away alive. So I've seen him do way crazier things than that, and I can't wait to see what else he could do in this exact game because he's piloting Silas, you know?
Yeah.
So he is a criminal. Silas is a criminal. We're talking about cops getting
Smooth
involved.
criminal, man.
He's a smooth criminal. His Loraculous Silas is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's when you ask Yuna if you're okay. And he's not okay right now. He's gonna get charmed.
Oh, dude, there's no time to react for that. Yuna couldn't even burn the flash. It was like, do I even burn the flash here to stay alive? You just got to take one on the chin there.
Yep, and he has to take one on the shin, and Team Ambition Black, they're going to take this next Drake. So first Hextech Drake going over to them. And they're just happy to give the early Drakes over to Return of the Middle Sticks as long as they get stronger and stronger. Mark Boot so far being the MVP of the game after that play. Amazing. And it's not just like the outplay that's good, right? All that pressure was on him. Meanwhile, Darius is getting stronger. Darius is getting stronger. Seraphine is getting her items as well. Hecarim is farming up. So with 4 players on him, the rest of his team is just free to do whatever they want all across the map. Not even Blind could do anything because he's just one person against the unknown.
Blind has been kind of silent. I gotta say that, right? 2-3 on the Gnar. Threadripper was the factor last game that was just like lights out.
Oh, wait.
But speaking of that, lights out of the mid lane, all for one, trying to get away. Yuna with a charm. The knockup is good. Akata setting up that kill. Lexus getting that one, downing the Seraphine in the mid lane. Gonna leave Turk to fend for himself here. Maybe cleared the wave. Gotta be careful from the charms coming out from Yuna, though.
There we go. All for one, getting it back there. That's something Return of the Middle Six sorely needed. At least getting a pick for themselves. They do have a really strong, excuse me. They do have a lot of pick potential. As long as they have the vision control, and Lexus tries to go for a heads-up play, but fortunately it's just Silas, and he's able to get away super easily.
Yo, this could be dangerous for Turk and Mark Boots. They have to respect the Blitzcrank pull, especially when their turret is just getting shredded like that. They don't have the safety to play under it. With that said, look at Castle here. Is zoning out quite well, maybe setting up for objectives or invades at this point in time. But just getting that vision back is huge for them to get control.
Definitely going to be huge, but it's still a long mountain to climb for Returns and Middle Sticks to get back into this game right now. 5,000 gold lead what separates them. And it's just hard to get control over any side of the map, especially, you know, if you are playing a Blitzcrank, you want to be the one with the vision control, right? You want to make sure that there are dark spots all over the map to make your opponent second guess whether they want to pass towards that direction or not, because there's always the risk one person gets hooked, gets blown up immediately, and then the team fight is kind of lost from there, right? Especially if it's an important target.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the top side of the map, if you are on the Return of the Middle Six side, it's totally lights out. You got no electricity running through there. You don't even know Thomas Edison invented electricity at that point in time because it's so dark out there right now. But they got more control over the bot side, which is something for them in the meantime. You could see they want to regain control of this mid lane somehow. They have, like I said, that pillar that taxes the flashes, and we've seen Trundle make a lot of use of that. So they just need to rinse and repeat that kind of play style, try to catch players dead in the tracks. And obviously Seraphine, the only reason All for One died a second time there in the mid lane was because she got collapsed on. So it's going to be a huge point for Intel to come through, for Vision to get regained, for Return to the Middle Six. Speaking of that, Blind gonna get hijacked the ulti there. Mark Boots. Let's see what he's gonna do in the team fight.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. As right now, looks like Return of the Middle Six trying to get control over the top side as Marco Duck in a lot of trouble. Tries to try and go in.
Yeah, a lot of movement speed. You can see from Team Ambition Black, but Castle Overzealous there goes
Not gonna
in,
miss.
gets annihilated on their side, and now here comes the retaliation from Return of the Middle Six. They need to make this happen. This is their shot. This is do or die. Are they gonna do it all for one? Taking it very low, going back there. Yuna collapses on them. The charm is good. Threadripper all the way down to half HP. Not like this. Mark Boots in the middle of that fight. Goes Golden. Blind around the corner here. Meganar against Meganar. Is this going to happen? Turk with the knock-up. The double kill for Mark Boots. They are indeed making it happen. And Mark Boots stays on killing, but not long for Turk goes down. Charm comes through. That's the triple from Park Go Duck.
Wow, what a team fight coming from Return of the Middle Six. Able to make it out of that one. It was a 5v5. Mark Boots not able to really leverage the use of this Nara ultimate. And meanwhile, on the backside, Barco Duck was absolutely just free-firing, able to get so much space for himself. They couldn't fight him as Mark Boots. He's coming back in for round 2.
Oh, he saw an opportunity. He's going to take it. The Zeri stayed a little bit too much. Mark Boots punishes her heavily, and that is gold bounty secured. So, if anything, Team Ambition Black are doing okay. It's not too bad. Yes, they lost in that initial fight, but with Mark Boots getting that shutdown, it's a lot for them.
Oh man, Mark Boots gave that one up to Barco Dark just to only come back and take it from him. That's
so I'm gonna get you fed so I could kill you later then, and I get all the goodies. You know what I'm saying?
Sacrificial lamb, you know.
Yeah.
He sacrificed his teammates for it. That's just Mark Boots things.
200 IQ play. You know, you just want to get, because nobody had a bounty on the other side, right? So this is very risky. You could see Castle.
Zeri's really far though. They don't have the damage though. That's the thing. They have a hard time taking objectives right now because there's not really anyone that can damage it.
Yeah, they don't have a DPS per se, right? We haven't even talked about that. We haven't even talked about the fact that we're seeing an APC right now. We're seeing that setup coming through from All for One. And do you think that's going to come back to haunt them later on?
Yeah, it could definitely do so when it comes to like trading objectives across the map. If they decide to give up a dragon for Baron, let's say, they're not going to be able to take down the Baron in time before Return of the Middle Six decides to go. It takes the dragon and heads towards that top lane. Hextech right now here is going to be Dragon's Soul Point for the side of Return of Middle Six, and this fight's going to be very even as Axe misses.
Oh, Akala wanted to get that rocket grab to open up the fight for them, so with that on a cooldown, they need to stall this as much as they can. Both teams sensing there might be a ride here. However, Team Ambition Black are going to gift the Drake over to Return of the Middle Six. They can't be too mad about that because they're getting their waves shoved in. They're getting more objectives. I mean, they are invading the red here, so they got a little bit gold in their pockets for the Drake. But mind you, we're reaching some dangerous territory now, Miles, because Return of the Middle Six, they just need one more Drake, and boom, they got the soul.
Yeah, if they're able to get the soul, that's a really good leverage for them to get back into this game. I think they're honestly back into this, even though it is a 4,000 gold lead. The fact that they were able to make that fight as even as possible and come out on top. Okay, sure, Barco Duck did end up dying, but he was able to gain so much from it when it comes to items, you know. So the fact that Return of the Middle Six were able to still make that fight as even as possible is a win for them in their book, especially since they're so far behind. And as we continue to get closer and closer to the late game, the DPS race is starting to favor Return of the Middle Six because they actually have an ADC.
Yeah, they actually have, and one of the best ones at that right now in the game, it's a hot commodity out there, is Zeri pick, right? They are running the Flash and Cleanse, so they are highly slippery in team fights. It's hard to lock them down, especially if you don't land your initial CC on them. You got to spend so much resources to dive that back line. And Castle has the Ghost, has also the Shadows, but they need to rely on CC, per se, to lock down that Zeri. And we saw what could happen if Zeri is left unanswered in one of the was it like 2 team fights ago or 1 team fight ago?
Yeah, it was that big team fight where Return of Middle Six just came out ahead. I keep saying Runeterra Academy instead of Return of the Middle Six just because they both have R in their name.
Yeah. No, I can see how that's confusing. But, you know, one of them can only be the Runeterra Academy champions, though,
That's
out
true,
of these
that's
2 teams.
true.
So, I don't know if you are a prophet or what, Miles. Maybe you're hinting on something here. Maybe you are saying, actually, that Return of the Middle Six are going to be those champions. But Team Ambition Black, so far, are ahead of the game. They are in the driver's seat. They have 700 gold bounty on Mark Boots. It's a double-edged sword when you have such a great lead on a champion like this, who's very aggressive. You got to play safe. And playing safe is not in the dictionary of Silas.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, it's not the dictionary of Barco Duck either. If you see the way he plays out these team fights, he is on the backline immediately. As soon as the cooldowns come, as soon as the ultimates are used from his opponents, he's finding opportunities to get back there and deal a lot of damage. And it's hard to be able to focus him, as you said, because there's not really any targeted CC that they have that can
For the
stop
Zeri,
Zeri
yeah.
in his that can stop Zeri in his tracks. So if he's able to go wild on the backline, it'll definitely be hard to counter, especially since who's gonna damage the Zeri? It has to be Mark Boots, right? Or a Threadripper. Otherwise, All for One is basically dead in the water.
Now, tell me about this Darius pick here. How has it been panning out? Because I thought that there would be more kills in his favor, but obviously it was answered by the Gnar pick. So Blind piloting the Gnar into the Darius, providing a lot of sustain for himself. He plays around the Mega Gnar bars, so that's not too hard to do. But essentially, looking at the general picture, is this Darius pick working out for Team Ambition Black, or is this like getting to that point where we're going to see it kind of fall off?
I mean, we're talking about snowball champions, right? Like Darius. What he was able to technically do his job in lane, which is get very far ahead of Blind on this Gnar pick. But if you have a snowball champion like Darius, it's not really good enough, right? You want to be able to leverage more and more when you pick these early game champions that can dominate lane, that can take turrets very easily. Unfortunately, they weren't able to really make use of him in that regard. So while Darius did fine, the question is whether fine is good enough, And looking at the game state right now, it probably isn't.
Because it's the same thing last game, right? Because the Volibear, 2004 Lexus GX was doing like so good on that pick, or especially early on, and then boom, like Karthus happened. That's it. There's no answer to that, right? So my fear is for Team Ambition Black is this Darius pick who has been CSing sensationally back to back. Irelia had 10 CS per minute. On Darius has 10 CS per minute. I mean, that's not easy to do. That's not really that easy to do, especially we're playing 5v5 competitive where roaming is everything, where communication is everything. And we're seeing now we're getting at that point where we might have a fight here, Miles.
Yeah, I mean, this is the
Huge
part.
flank.
Shirley was already popped. And right now, Mark is coming in.
Huge flank by Mark Woods. They're actually going to collapse on Mark Woods. They do spot him out. Lucky. This is so lucky for our ROTM now. Mark Woods has to really get away. He has to hijack Ari's ult to just get away from that team fight. Yeah, that is huge here, especially when Mark Woods is that kind of diving the back line a lot here. Responsible of killing a lot of the team members on the other side.
Yeah, it's gonna be this is World War I right now. Both the battle lines are drawn as both teams. There's no flank this time. It's just both teams trying to one up each other, trying to see who's going to be the one to stand their ground first. Looks like the Dragon's being activated. Return to Middlesticks. They want this fight.
Yeah, sensing.
Oh, two people got there.
Oh, there it is. Huge knock up there all the way. The front line is just goodbye from ROTM, and everybody's collapsing like dominoes back to back. Barco Dog has to flash away, but Castle around the corner. Castle is just unstoppable. Triple kill now for Mark Boots. This man is on fire. He stays on killing. And Team Ambition Black stay on leading the game now with that second Drake in their pockets. 20-11. 6k gold in advance. This is just a free Baron.
Oh my god, that was so unfortunate. All for one, managing to catch both Yuna and Blind there. I'm not sure if it was Blind or some other, but definitely Yuna got caught, and it was just immediately pulled the trigger by Turk to be able to get in, get the knock up, delete both of them, and there's not much that Return to Middlesticks can do now. Completely got shut out of that fight right there. I think Return to Middlesticks definitely wanted to fight, but they weren't able to fight on their terms, which is the problem.
You could say they were totally caught off guard with the initial engage. Like, they just had absolute shocker moment there. Probably Joss hitting the floor. Like, what just happened? We don't have enough time to react to it. And then Barco Duck was just doing everything they can here to salvage that play. But then as slippery as Zeri is, there's no way stopping that push. Mark Boots is on you. Castle is on you. And just eventually going to topple and go down. So a good look, good initial reaction from Turk to make that play happen. And that's the answer they want on the other side, ROTM. Flexing that blitz, trying to pull back a member. They do miss it eventually there. And you can see that Strundle has gone a little bit quiet here with the pillars. He's just not feeling that comfortable and confident to walk up. He's just going to get heavily punished. Speaking of heavily punished, Mark Boots over the wall.
Oh, no.
Gonna punish. The
That
ever rotating Akata. He did not expect that coming, and they're just getting caught off guard back to back here. And Team Ambition Black have full control over the game. They have the Baron. They're flexing various members here. That's a 4-1 push.
yeah, it's a 4-1
Surely
push
enough,
now.
they'll easily get one inhibitor here.
At least one. I mean, it'll be lucky for Return of the Middlesticks if Team Ambition only managed to get one. Because, darn, everything went completely wrong in that dragon fight. And now they're paying for it right now. And it might just
Castle
end up
goes
being the
in.
game here.
That's a dead Zeri. No
Oh.
ADC. No support.
No.
What can you do now? Team Ambition Black are at full force. They are looking to 2-0 this. Clean sweep by them. And Mark Boots rises above competition and conquers yet another time. The lonely survivor is going to be Akata. Gets pulled back in. You're just going to go back to the fountain, buddy. Sorry. All for one with the triple kill. Seraphina is making it happen again. Team Ambition Black walking away with yet another game.
What a performance by Team Ambition Black. The synergy, the coordination to be able to pull the trigger that fast as soon as they saw the opportunity. These guys have complete faith in each other, and when one person says go in, they immediately just jump on it.
Jeez, the blue side, Team Ambition Black, even looks scarier than the red side. What can he even do at this point? The pressure is boiling at an all-time high for Return of the Middlesticks. This is do or die. Next game, they gotta win back-to-back-to-back games and able to topple Team Ambition Black, who seem to be unstoppable at this point in time. Is it draft? Is it the way they're communicating? What seems to be the issue here for ROTM?
Man, that's a good question. I think it just may be bad decision making on their part, and I think micro mistakes in the last game because Return of the Middlesticks were coming back into that one, but unfortunately, just getting caught out like that, two people immediately getting deleted. There's no way you can win with a man disadvantage like that. And right now, it's just it's looking rough right now. If there's any of you Return of the Middlesticks fans in the chat, they need your support right now because if they manage to make this comeback, it's gonna be legendary. But it's gonna be a tough mountain to climb.
Dude, I wish literally the only time I'd look at Twitch chat is post game, and I wish I could take like the last 2 seconds of my life back, but I can't. Just like ROTM, I cannot take that. But it's all good. We're just rolling with the punches. Moss on vacation, baby. But anyway, with that said, honestly, it's been a really, really great time so far. And you can see Team Ambition Black are putting the work in. They did the due diligence. They are scouting good picks, good bands to target ROTM. And ROTM, they got to return. That's all I'm going to say. Return to the Middlesticks. You guys got to return.
Time to live up to the name. It's time to live up to the name. Return of the Middlesticks.
Exactly there, Miles. With that said, we're going to toss it over to break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with potentially the last game, unless Return of the Middlesticks have a say in that. We'll be right back. everybody, welcome back, and guess what, Miles?
What?
Uh, I'm not gonna ask you a tricky question this time around. Let's go right into analytics of things. We got
Yeah.
it's the grand finals, right?
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
we
yeah.
seeing some quality plays? I got my answer to that. What's been your favorite play so far?
I got to be the 1v4 from Mark Boots. That was absolutely insane.
Ah, why
Were
did
you
I
gonna pick that
set you up?
one?
I
Were
was
you
gonna pick
gonna
the
pick
same
that
one. We're
one?
on the same page. It's all good.
All right.
I guess now I
How
pick
about
another
we
one. I
go
pick
with
another one.
how about we go to underrated play with all for one countering the game one dive onto the tier 2 tower and bot lane. I think that was really good too.
Hmm. Okay. You know what? When we're talking about other plays, I want to say I like the play of Castle there, roaming in the mid lane when Volibear was attacking, diving. That was the beautiful thing to see. Just it was lucky. It's not the best play ever, but I just think it came down
Right
to
place, right time, man.
instinct.
Right
Right,
place,
right.
right
I
time.
like
That's a
that.
game
I like
sense.
that.
That's a
Yeah,
game sense
because
thing.
that's an RNG moment for Volibear. He's like, dude, does he have to be here when I'm pulling off my gank? Like, can't Castle be anywhere else on the map? Like, please. Like that moment, I feel like he was probably tilted. He was just like, not what I wanted, not what I wanted. But with that
Yeah.
said, no, I hope you guys are having a blast right now. Just we are on the casting this. It's been an absolute banger of a series. The whole
Hmm.
split has been really cool to see the development of these players as well. Like a lot of these players are under a heavy microscope, and their plays are always on the stream, and their drafts are on there too. So it's hard to stay competitive when everybody knows what you play, how you play. So it's great stuff coming out, especially from Team Ambition Black to have this 2-0 lead. It shows how dominant they came.
Yeah. You know how in Clash, right? You can scout the enemy team to see what
Mhm.
the champions they like to play. These guys have games back since like January. Back since January, since the start of the year. So you can definitely
Mhm.
know what the tendencies of these players are like. You can watch their games too that have been on multiple broadcasts around the indie scene here. And Team Ambition Black, man, they were the ones that defeated the defending champions of Runeterra Academy Senior Division. They were the ones that took down Mirage. And now they want to take that throne for themselves. They are
Mhm.
stamping their foot on the ground right now, and we'll see what Return of the Middle Six can do against that. You talked about how there could be some tilt factor right now with Return of the Middle Six going down 0-2 here in this game, but they have to snap
Mhm.
themselves out of it. They have to slap themselves in the face and be like, no, we're not gonna just go quietly into the night. We're gonna come back into this series. They need that energy. They need that motivation. Otherwise, otherwise it's over.
Yeah, otherwise there's no nice way of putting it. There's no way of sugarcoating it, Like you're in the grand finals, right? This is do or die right now. Obviously the pressure's always going to be high. It's higher than ever. This is the last game of the season. This is the last game of the split. So either go out with a bang, like make the series close, or try to go for that win. Obviously, you want to aim for the moon, so at least you'll get over the fence. Right. With that said, that should be our note moving into the draft shortly here, as both teams are readying up. One interesting advancement is that Team Ambition Black are again playing on the blue side, and
Mm-hmm.
ROTM are on the red side. So they have picked stay red. I don't know why that could be. So let's talk about draft. What has been working for ROTM, and what can they change? Because this is do or die situation for them.
The early game has been working for them pretty well so far, where they're able to leverage advantages there.
Mhm.
Now, if they can continue to do that, it'd be really good. But they need some kind of insurance policy. Last time, the last two games, last two games, unfortunately, there were in the last game there were a lot of missteps that led up to the big dragon fight that ended
Mhm.
up sealing the game over to the side of Team Ambition Black. But there's some flashes of brilliance also from Return of the Middle Sticks. So they need to be able to find a way, find a way to not misstep, not let the pressure get to them, and just play the game that they want. Right? Make sure that their plan can come to fruition and not be too greedy.
Don't make it too greedy. Go for safe plays, right? Safe picks here.
Yeah.
Maybe
Listen,
go all out here. What's your ace up
well,
your sleeve at this point?
there are two ways to go about this, right? You either throw something crazy into the range because you're against the ropes. It's all or
Mhm.
nothing. If you don't win this game, you're out of the tournament. You lose the grand finals. You're second place. Or you can go for the safer play. Try to go for the higher percentage. Try to go for the higher percentage strategy. You can fall into either side of the spectrum, right? I'm kind of on the fence because I would tend to favor the team that pulls out the crazy strat, right? Because that way it just completely pulls Team Ambition Black off their high horse, shoves them back onto the ground, and we can have the banger best of 5 that we wanted. But so far, man, so far it looks like our curse is coming true. I don't know what to say.
Well, at least for Return of the Middle Six, they have decided to ban the Nautilus and the Karthus yet another time. So they're not changing their approach on that. They know that leaving the Karthus pick up is just going to come back to bite them. So they don't want to deal with that at all. Maybe, again, they'll be lucky to pick the Zeri pick, I believe, because that has been working for them. Like, we saw glimpses of what it could do, and it did a lot, right? It got a triple kill for them in a tight situation. And, they're going to decide to ban the Silas. They don't even ban the Victor. So the Victor is essentially up for Team Ambition Black. Mark Boots plays the playmakers. I think Vex could also be something from Team Ambition Black. Could decide to blind, but it's one of the riskier champions. You kind of want to test the waters with it first, and it's going to be the Lee Sin. 3 times in a row, Miles, we're seeing B1 jungle picks.
Yeah, honestly, but the Lee Sin pick this time, I mean, it's a very high priority, especially, Lee Sin with the Gourd Drinker can be absolutely oppressive to deal with because, because of that item, Lee Sin essentially has a late game. He used to be only an early game and mid game champ, but with the Gourd Drinker, he's starting to be being able. He doesn't match completely well against the Scalers, of course, but he matches up a lot better. Trundle being picked again would be fine with me, but instead it's going to be Udyr. Man, I'm getting callbacks to 2020 with these picks.
Udyr, I mean, that's something.
The curveball. We haven't seen this in a while.
That's a curveball. We were talking about that right now, Miles. Like, at this exact moment, you said Return of the Middle Six need to do something here, throw a wrench in Team Ambition Blacks, and this Udyr could be that wrench. I have not seen competitive Udyr, like you said. It feels like it's been almost a year, to be honest with you. For me personally.
Yeah, honestly. And Zeri being picked up again, not surprised there. Bart Goes Duck absolutely went haywire with that last time. And he was very close to completely popping off and taking over the game. Just some unfortunate incidents, right, that prevented him. Like, at this point, honestly, when it comes to Return of the Middle Sticks, Game 1 may have been a draft difference, but I feel like Game 2 was just mistakes on their part. And a bit of greed when it comes to their positioning. So if they can clean that up, they should be able to at least get one game. But they shouldn't be thinking about the rest of the series. They should be just thinking about this game coming up. Essentially, for them, it's a best of one.
Best of one,
have to win. They just have to win this game, and then the next game, and the next. They have to build the momentum off of there. And reverse sweeps are possible. I've seen it in Runeterra Academy time and time again. And I wouldn't be surprised if Return of the Middle Six would be able to pull this off. But looks like for Team Ambition Black, looks like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. Seraphine Rakan, it was good for them. They're gonna good for them. Yeah. It'll be good again.
Well, why not try to fix it? I mean, Rakan was putting up great numbers, a lot of assists, and once he was around the corner, I mean, that was the wow factor, the shock factor from Team Ambition Black in the team fights where they hit you out of nowhere with that Rakan all in into that encore. So it's like a beautiful layer of alties that if you don't got the reaction time of professional players, it's just hard to dodge that sometimes when you're just like paying attention to objectives at hand, paying attention to warding, visions, and that all-out dance in the bot side river that we saw, right? But Veigar seems to be the third pick here for Return of the Middle Sticks. So I like the general direction that they're headed with. Do you think it's the right one?
It could be. Veigar has a lot of skirmish potential and is extremely useful in the team fights because of the event horizon, right? So it will be very hard. Let's say Seraphine gets another route up, right? Veigar puts the wall down, immediately Rakan can't go in.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Lee Sin can't go in, Rakan can't go in. So I like this
event horizon.
A lot.
Yeah, I love it. I love the event horizon. I think it's just underrated. It's like a lot of CC, and he just spams it. Like he could have it. You can't really punish him because he has that distance between you and him, obviously. But you just gotta wait for that to be on a cooldown at that point. So a lot of things to keep track, right, from Team Ambition Black. But this Lee Sin was banned, I believe, the first game, maybe the second game too. But it has been banned by Return of the Middle Six, and you could see why it was rush picked by Team Ambition Black, because Castle wants to have his Lee Sin. This is his trademark champion. This is his ace up his sleeve.
Yep. I mean, if you want to, what a way to win the grand finals, right? With your trademark pick, that would be the way to do it if Castle can pull it off. It wasn't banned in game 2, definitely was banned in game 1 though.
Mhm.
as I review through the draft. But yeah, so we'll see what they can come up with right now. Yumi getting taken out of the picture too. She's too good with Zeri. I'll just say it right now. Yumi with a mobile ADC will be a nightmare to deal with. Instead, they might just decide to go for the Karma instead, which, Yumi or Karma as a support could work either way. And
Mhm.
Blind is going for the blind pick Aatrox this time and leaving the counter pick towards the support potentially.
We'll just have to. Oh, this is gonna be another Atrox game. So we did see that Atrox matchup into that Irelia, and Team Ambition Black took that fight any day of the week. And
Oh
oh,
no.
this is gonna be the Yumi. You could technically
Oh.
watch. Okay, it's gonna be the Netflix and chill Yumi here. They're probably just gonna be running a couple of episodes of Peaky Blinders. I was watching that before this cast. Got me in the mood of some drama here. So if anybody wants to not spoil it, please, thank you.
Signature champions all day, man. Victor is getting hovered.
Yeah, this is a Mark Boots special right here. Like if these champions had their own menus, Mark Boots special would be okay, Victor, Silas, and Vex in that order, I think. Like that's an accurate order to go down. So if his Silas wasn't scary enough for you, wait until you see the Victor damage chart. You know, that's he's not as flashy as a Silas, obviously, with the plays, but
Speaking of
still
flashy.
speaking of flashy, we got Camille here, Miles. Is this your favorite pick going into it?
I think Camille is just one of the most versatile top laners in the game right now, but she is still counter pickable if excuse me. If Blind is able to pick Jax into it, then that would be, I think, the best answer. Aatrox would be a risk, but if he's comfortable with it, why not, right? It's still gonna be useful, especially with Yumi on his back. I think Yumi would definitely escalate Aatrox to a far more dangerous pick than he otherwise would be as a normal one.
They
But
need
they're
an
just discussing it right
front
now.
line. They
Yeah,
need a front. They need a heavy hidden front line. Is the way I see it. If you want to do that acronym, it's gonna be HHF. So, Atrox, I don't think it falls under that category, does it, Miles? I mean, I would have loved seeing like an Ornn here, but obviously an Atrox is an Atrox. It has a lot of AOE damage in team fights if he survives long enough, and that's why Yumi is here. Obviously, Veigar. I think having Veigar could make it worthwhile for you not to have like a big frontliner like the Ornn, because he has that event horizon. So if you, as long as you play around that, you should be fine. But my initial reaction for ROTM is just like, oh no, they don't have a frontliner. But
Yeah,
what's your assessment of this?
I mean, to be fair, they don't really need a frontliner since the rest of Team Ambition Black is just dive. Even if there was a frontliner, I think they're just gonna ignore him completely and try to go to the backline. So, I think the key pick right now, the 5-head pick that Return of the Middle Six had, is this Veigar pick, and I think that's going to be the difference maker into this game because he is the most anti-dive champion in this game right now. No,
Yeah,
in this specific game, I mean, not in League of Legends, of course. We still have Renata, but like,
no, it's not Rotan. We still have Renata. I mean, who else? I mean, I think Braum falls in that category.
yeah, Braum
I always
too.
love seeing people try to dive a Braum. He just doubles you onto himself, and you're just like, okay, well, he's living a little bit longer than I expected him to. And if it's an exhaust Braum, bro, forget about it.
Exhaust Braum with hail
Forget
of
about
blades. You get stunned up too under turret, so you end up dying, giving up the kill.
Exactly, and but this club for today, especially for this game, the anti-dive club, is just has a member of one, and that member is Veigar. He's just gonna be chilling. He has the whole club for himself. We'll see if that is what they indeed needed to get some wind back on their sails here for ROTM. This is do or die. They should treat it as a best of one. For Team Ambition Black, they're on a roll. They have played multiple games back to back, and they have won so far. And they actually played Rakan and Seraphine, so they're pretty warmed up with it. They know when to go in. They know the positioning. They have enough experience to approach this game meticulously and not to make any mistakes that they necessarily were making last game. So you need to always account that the enemy is also making the improvement. It's not just ROTM, right? So Team Ambition Black have been improving each game and exponentially. Actually, the first game, okay, it was a bit dicey. Second game, they even looked stronger. So we'll see if that storyline is going to continue for them.
Right.
But going into it, Miles, if you're a betting man, right? Like I got 3K channel points left. I will put the channel points the team that you say is going to win.
All right, I will give it I think Return of the Middle Six are gonna come back and win this one game, but I think Team Ambition Black wins the rest of the series.
Never mind, never mind. I'm not putting my channel points on. Never. I take that. I take that back. I take
Absolutely.
that.
You expected me to say Team Ambition Black? Hell no, man. I'm in it for the drama. I'm in it for the drama. I want to see Return of the Middle Six come into this. So even if I do like the responses to the picks. I don't really like the Aatrox, but I like the rest of the responses. Excuse me. I like the rest of the responses to the side of Team Ambition Black. So I think Return of the Middle Six definitely have a chance in this one.
All right. Well, I was just joking around with you. Indeed, I'm gonna go with here and go on Return of the Middle Sticks, and hopefully they show themselves here with a return.
I will vote against the curse as much as possible, man. I will vote against the curse.
What does that mean?
It means that hopefully we don't get a 3-0.
So are you saying that you set me up? Is this your scam going on here, Miles? You set me up to put my channel points on ROTM, and then you're gonna swindle it with putting your points on tap, knowing that they are gonna win this one.
That would be a great plan if I was allowed to bet my channel points. But I live in a country where that is illegal, my friend.
Oh, it's country diff at this point.
Yeah, country diff.
I got you. It's all good though, man. It's all good. With that said, though, one more time here before we take a break, let's go top from bot here. What do we like about these picks from both sides, and what do we think that the shortcomings are going to be?
All right, so definitely I like a lot of the picks. When it comes to damage, I think Camille is the problem solver there. She can output a lot of damage, but the problem is, for the side of Team Ambition Black, they have really good champs. They have good ways of being able to sustain through a team fight. They have good DPS, but they're all dependent on getting onto the right target, getting onto the backline. So if Return of the Middle Sticks are able to stop that from happening, they should be able to kite away, especially with Zeri being as slippery as she is, especially with a Yumi on top of her. That could it could be their way of getting back into this. But Return of the Middle Sticks have to weather the storm this time. They have to endure. Otherwise it's just over. It's just gonna be Team Ambition Black winning out on this semester of Runeterra Academy Senior Division.
Exactly. Right to that point right there, ladies and gentlemen. Team Ambition Black need one more win in order to secure that first place. They will finish first. The only obstacle they have right now is just to get over this game, to get over that Veigar, get over that Udyr, and we'll see if Return of the Middle Sticks will in fact return in the third game. With that said, we're going to toss it to over a break. We'll be right back. Game 3. Don't go anywhere.
shadows and the stories of the promised land. Now to take our place beyond. You're on the roof of the world, in the cradle of the stones, where faithful winds cut to the bone, and there's no turning back.
Welcome back, everybody who's been tuning in.
30
Fearlessly
seconds until
waiting
the
to find out who is going to win. And I can't wait to see this next game at hand. I mean, we're at the outset actually of the third, maybe the final game here. Team Ambition Black need to walk away with this one, and it will be a clean 3-0, which obviously is impressive. But Miles, you predicted that Return of the Middle Six might be able to make this game harder than it looks, and maybe they're able to take one game off Team Ambition Black, and this will be it. With the Yuna mid lane, Blind piloting Atrox. What do we expect going into it here? The start should be rather standard.
Man, maybe it's just copium on my part on Return of the Middle Sticks winning out, but definitely want to see them make the series a lot more competitive. But you know, this time they have the ability to punish the mistakes from the side of Team Ambition Black, right? They have especially I'm just looking at that bigger pick, man. I think it's gonna be the key to breaking this game wide open for the side of Return to Middle Sticks. So I want to see Yuna succeed very well. Lexus on this Udyr should be able to beat Lee Sin when it comes to the clear and be first to the punch as well. It's not Udyr is not as strong as he used to be in 2020, but if you're able to pilot him well, he can still do a lot of good things for the team.
But you know what just happened though, right, Miles? Like, meanwhile, Udyr had like the greatest leash of his life.
Yeah.
He did not know that Castle was over the top side invading with the Camille, that red buff. Actually, he's doing a semi-full clear, which I am totally against that. If you are gonna do an invade, you should first and foremost clear the Raptors and the Krugs. Because what if you are spotted? What if Udyr has that piece of intel? Then he invades you and he fully invades you. Then you're going to be behind on XP. But for now, Castle is actually pretty lucky because that did not happen. He now is ahead on XP, ahead on farm. And Udyr is probably going to gank because he's not going to have enough camp. So he just needs to make up for something.
Yeah, right. Right now, we'll see what Lexus can do. I mean, he's still favoring the fast camps, right? So he should be able to get around the map a lot quicker, and he's going for the invade himself. So both junglers are basically splitting the map in half right now, diagonally, and it's gonna be Blind has to play a lot more carefully, and along with the bot lane of the side of Team Ambition Black. They All For One and Turk, if they could be in trouble of a gank for themselves, and Lee Sin, he's not going towards that direction though. It looks like it will be the triple buff. Udyr did not continue to invade. Instead, he decided to prioritize getting the Scuttle Crab for himself instead.
Yeah, that's Scuttle Crab now down. Lexus has that, making his way towards the top side, and maybe he'll get a gank off after that. But Lee Sin is going to be behind on Scuttle, but has that red buff innovate, so maybe we're already realizing that we got a fight on our hands. Turk goes in, Barco Duck has a lot of sustain on this area regardless of that, right? So just going to be walking away. In the meantime, Threadripper goes all in here. Does have the ignite, mind you, doesn't have the flash. Blind throws out, pull back, maybe wanted some of that smoke actually, but
she should know this is coming, right? She should know.
Yeah, Threadripper should probably suspect that something is going on here, and okay, all right.
He knows.
He knows. Got spotted there.
Yeah.
What's the new build for Udyr? I believe you forego the Q level up. I think it's the Phoenix all the way around.
Yeah, it's been Phoenix for quite a while now. I don't think
For quite
anyone
a while,
really, I don't think really anyone decides to go for a Q, honestly. And he's just more useful with that extra AP damage when it comes to those early game skirmishes. So, excuse me, might as well decide to go for, might as well go for that
And the
right now.
Frozen Heart slow down enemies as well,
Yeah,
right? Like
Frozen
that
Heart. He could decide to go for the old camp tank build if he wants to go for ganks again and again, but I feel like it will not be optimal this time around because you want Udyr to be as tanky as possible to make sure that he can chase down people for the rest of his teammates to follow up on and make sure. And those ice fields are going to be extremely useful for preventing dives from happening.
Oh, Castle. This is both junglers
Oh,
collapsing.
whoa,
Now,
oh, no.
Castle actually
That's
decides to go in. He sees this as an opportunity
here.
to take it. And
Oh.
he's going to seize the moment, grabs the kill, the first blood, but Yuno's around the corner with that retaliation. And Blind, they're just going to collapse on the top
no.
lane here. 2 down for 1. You take that any day of the week if you all return the middle sticks. So, great stuff coming out. They are ahead by an inch, by a hair of gold lead that they have got themselves with the double kill.
And it's not just that, more plays going down for Barco Duck here in this bot lane as All For One was left on his own. Doesn't really have too much in the way of fighting back against, this Yuumi empowered Zeri at the moment. At that top lane, Yuna getting those 2 kills, absolutely huge. If this Vigor continues to accelerate, it's going to be a nightmare for Team Ambition Black to deal with.
This is a Zeri now with the Yuumi buff, so if it's gonna be red flags for you anytime, it's gonna be this game. Zeri is ever so more slippery now in team fights. It's gonna be hard to lock her down. Has cleanse, Akata now this time around doesn't have any hooks, so he doesn't have that playmaker ability yet. But once Yuumi has that level 6, you could arguably say that in team fights it will make a lot of difference here, depending on the positioning of Barco.
Oh wait, Yuna's here. He had the Predator up. This is a Predator Vigor, by the way, so he can decide to go for a gank earlier in the game and surprise the bot lane or the top lane. So they have to also play carefully with that in mind. As All For One.
Okay, finds the route here. However, you could see Turk is not bothered with the 2v2s just yet. He's just clearing up some wars, making sure that, they have their own here. The Tribers, they have the pink down. However, they don't have any intel on the river.
Oh,
they
wait.
have no vision. So
All
look at
in.
that. We got an all-in from both top laners. Blind deciding to pop the ultimate. The Red Ripper follows up shortly. However, the Window is a level ahead.
Yeah, I think Blind could have ended up winning that one, but he had no intel on Lee Sin, and now he's going to get punished for it.
Actually, Castle flashes in for that. Blind cannot outmaneuver his way in, and Castle has been doubling down, taking the risk, and it's been paying off for them. Besides that double kill earlier when they gave it over to Yuna, that was still a risky play from Castle to go in, following up on that Sonic Wave, actually.
Yep, honestly, Castle has to take risks, right? Honestly, Sin. It's just how the Feast or Famine playstyle goes when it comes to champions like this. Lee Sin has to get some advantage early game because if he's not able to, even with the Gore Drinker, it's not going to be enough for them to stop the late game on this team because you have a Zeri with a Yuumi on her back. You have Veigar. That's just you will get instantly deleted Gore Drinker or not because if you can't use Gore Drinker if you're dead.
That's true. That's a true point. I don't think you could use. I don't think you could use anything if you're dead, Miles.
Only Guardian
You're
Angel.
dead,
You can
you're
only use Guardian Angel if you're dead.
You could use all chat. You could use chat. Those are 2 things you could use to get to your opponent's mental. Dude, I've seen so many times. When I was in college.
Do it again. Do it again. Kill me again.
Do it again. Yeah, it's funny that I say this, but it wins you games, dude. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Sometimes it gets to the mental.
No.
Speaking of mental, Blind is going to have a lot of mental juice after that. He actually has to burn the flash away. Turk, this is the roaming support coming out now, acting as the secondary jungle, putting in the work here. So Blind having no flash here could end up biting him in the laning phase as Threadripper has that ignite. And
wait.
Here we go.
One.
All for one has to burn the flash, and that's a Yuumi playmaker. They're coming down heavy with the damage. And actually, Yuumi walks away with the kill. That's 2 to 3 so far. ROTM managing to get away so far. And speaking of getting away, Blind on the 1v1, Castle around the corner here in the vicinity, trying to collapse on me. This is the second time Lee Sin is in this lane. Now with the Rift Herald completed, has the opportunity to drop it, goes in, has the kick, and is it going to be all in? And yes, it will be the all in. Castle, the safeguard, will survive. Are they going to drop the Rift there? Actually, they maybe suspect that Udyr is somewhere nearby. They have this fat wave that they have to handle. Udyr is just chilling there on the Raptors, invading. We'll see if a gank is at hand. Nope.
Lexus just decided to help his mid laner out with...
Wait a minute. We do not got disconnected. That's a pause right here coming down.
Oh, no. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about Blind there. He was in a bad spot. The wave was pushing away from him. He had to crash the wave, otherwise he would be giving over such a big EXP advantage to Threadripper, who can just freeze the lane and keep him on danger all the time. So it was a risk that he had to take. Unfortunately, Castle was just, again, junglers who are at the right place at the right time are invaluable, and Castle was there to punish exactly that. So Blind is just an unfortunate series of events for him so far. Except for that one top lane dive that ended up in the favor for turning the middle sticks, he's just been getting punished over and over again.
Yeah, Blind. Turk was on him, Castle was on him, so that's like 3 times that, or maybe 4, yeah, 4 times the top lane has seen action. This has been top lane heavy so far from both sides. Yuno's actually on the rotate there, got the double, but he wasn't there a second or third time, so there you go. Team Ambition Black are like, okay, I don't think you're going to send more members here. You're not as fast as us. We're going to react, or we're going to put you in a spot where you have to react. And Udyr is just not that fast right now, but he is sneaky enough.
Yeah, they might go for something here. Turk is here, though.
Turk is here. Gonna help them out a little bit. Blind was doing a lot of damage there, so Threadripper has to tread carefully and on the 1v1 at least for now. Speaking of the jungles, though, you can see that Lexus is keeping the competition pretty much an all-time high. Like, yeah, he does not have 2 kills, but the gold is almost even. Only 300 gold difference on Castle. Speaking of Castle, again, in the top lane, hello, Blind. These are your long-lost friends. You're going to go down again.
It's I would not want to be Blind this game. Remember when we said the top lane was either like a peaceful place or the worst place or the worst place on the map? Right now, Blind is experiencing that the worst place on the map, because Lee Sin is just targeting him over and over again. He's getting the direst treatment.
Yeah, it's bingo time for them, and every time the missing puzzle, the missing piece to that bingo has been Blind. And Castle has been doubling down on the top lane. I don't think he's ever made appearances here in the bot lane. Speaking of that, Lex is actually capitalizing that and doubling down in the bot lane. Encore thrown out, but Yuna will manage to get the kill. In the meantime, Lexus is zoning out. Yep. Perfect play right there.
May not get the assist in the game, but he gets the assist in our hearts.
Well, he's getting a lot of gold regardless, so yeah, he's ahead on farm. He should be chilling. 12 minutes on the clock and only 1 Drake down. Rift was also secured. Have we seen where it was dropped? Was it dropped over the top lane?
It was dropped into top lane. Yeah, it was,
obviously.
So
how else is it going to be 1 plate?
Yeah, all the gold over to the Camille. I mean, considering how badly Blind is getting spanked up there in the top lane, yeah.
So what could be the remedy to this? I mean, what can Return of the Middle Sticks do to answer this? Obviously, one step is to, index somewhere else on the map, and Lexus is that playmaker, is that jungler, so they double down on the bot lane. But what is the general rule of thumb if your top lane is just getting capped like this?
Honestly, there's not much you can do unless you're willing to spend resources to help out Aatrox, but I think you'd rather spend resources to help out the Veigar and the Zeri get ahead, especially the Veigar, who's now 3-0. He's now 3-0 and has 2 stats on the Darksteel. I think they decided, all right, Blind, I'm sorry, buddy. It's a top lane life for you.
It's a lost cause. It's a lost cause. They gave up on this, but Yuumi hasn't given up just yet. Akata,
Yuumi, the support, always there, making sure. So Blind at least has support. I think it's possible now because Zeri can sustain by herself right now in the mid lane, is able to leverage that. Meanwhile, Veigar has shifted towards the bot lane where he'll be a lot safer since the tower is there. It's a lot harder for It's a lot easier for him to get away from ganks as well.
Akata being here is going to draw out a lot of attention
Oh, wait.
from Team Ambition Black. Turk comes in with a quickness. They do set up the knock up the kill going
Oh,
through so
no,
far.
they-
Team Ambition Black, they get the second one as well. Lex is in a lot of trouble.
Oh,
will
no.
go down, and the double kill from Castle. He is going to make a fast buck back to back, and everybody else has put the rest.
Oh man, that's just unfortunate. Unfortunately, Blind didn't have the HP to continue on with that fight. Flash was used as well, so Blind basically has nothing except his TP. I think he's gonna lose his tower as well. So Team Ambition Black getting so much out of that fight, and it was just the right place for Turk to be in at that time, able to affect that fight, affect that skirmish, and win it out for his team. So again, it's just the roaming support. Turk again with the plays on this Rakan, really invaluable for the side of Team Ambitious Black.
Yeah, even sending out the Yumi there, sending out multiple players there, didn't work out for Return of the Middle Stick. So, you know, at this point in time, I think they should just do the opposite of trying to save this top lane and focus on what's been working. Obviously, Yuna had a lead in the mid lane, having had a 300 gold bounty with 3 kills. Now, Mark Booth with 0 kills, just based on CS, has been able to get the lead there and has 200 gold bounty. So this is the victor that I'm talking about.
Vigor lost
Mark
the bounty. Vigor lost the
Vigor
bounty.
just simply lost the bounty by not dying, right? You might think, okay, why the hell did he lose the bounty? He did not die. It's just that Mark Boots is Mark Boots on the victor.
Yeah, right now 60 CS ahead. Like, he almost Flame Horizon this Vigor. It's just hard to be able to deal with the amount of poke that Victor has. Mark Boots, it feels like Victor scales earlier when he's playing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's a different Victor. You're like, oh wait, I thought this champion is supposed to do damage later on and supposed to not have the best laning phase, but into the Veigar, it's not the worst case scenario for Victor, right? It's not a LeBlanc, so you take those any day.
Yeah, definitely. So Return of the Middle Sticks. I said they were against the ropes before, but now they're hanging by. They're hanging by their hands off the cliff right now with the way that the game has gone so far. Threadripper is getting stronger. Yeah,
the cliff is not as sturdy as you might think it is. And Turk is going to get zoned out here. It's definitely shaking.
for something.
Primordial Burst, not actually bursting out Turk enough, and he will walk away limping away.
No
But
way.
Who's not limping
No
is the
way.
7 all for 1 goes down, and
no.
Lex is finding the kill. Great amount of
Okay.
heals coming through from the Yumi. Castle now trying to make something happen, goes in with the Sonic Wave. Yuna
Res-
taken back a little bit, but now Barco Duck finding the shutdown, looking to get more kills. Mark Boost on the collapse. Here comes the Hextech ultimatum. Barco Duck will bite the dust, possibly here, but goes in. He's not done yet. Gets the double kill, walking away with Martyr here. He stays on performing on this Zerion. Sensational stuff coming out from Return of the Middle Sticks.
Oh my gosh, I think I'm a bit behind you when it comes to the game right now, but God. Holy crap, Barco Dark. He lived with a sliver of HP. I think they thought that he was going to die already and left him alone, but that was a big mistake coming from Team Ambition Black on not confirming that kill.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening at this point in time, but 17 minutes on the clock. You could see that Threadripper is
Wait.
managing to trade some heavy blows here. Walks away with the kill. This is a Camille who's having 4 kills, carrying the first 2 games on the front line as well. One was Irelia, the second one was the Darius. Darius wasn't as much of a carry as Irelia was, but now they have the Camille. This is super dangerous for Return of the Middle Stick. They need to shut down multiple players. One of them is Threadripper.
Yeah, definitely. Give me a sec as I bring up the. I'm behind, so I'm gonna ask for a stream.
Okay, we'll just get those sorted out there. No worries. You know, it wouldn't be a League of Legends NA production if we do not have a couple of technical difficulties here and there. It's all good. With that said, all right, well, we're taking that break there in the background. We got things synced up. Hopefully I'm on sync, right? Hopefully I am on sync. We'll double check that as well. But yeah, in the meantime, though, we got one Drakes for each.
All right, I'm good. We're good here.
Perfect, Miles.
All right, we got
What's
sorted
the
out.
way back in here for Return to the Middle Sticks? Because that last play, it looked very, very good because of this area, obviously. But then, You got the solo kill, Threadripper finding that kill, Castle going in here as well. So it just looks like they can't catch a moment to breathe here on the side of the red team, just return the middle sticks. They're having to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, Return of the Mill Sticks, they have the tools to find picks, right? We saw the Vigor, Event Horizon, Lexus going in. That was a fight they were able to win because they were able to get on top of Team Ambition Black first before there were response. So if they're able to catch people out while Mark Boots is out, while Threadripper is also out, they should be able to do something. Oh, the stuns.
Yeah, baby, let's go. That's a beautiful charm coming down from Seraphine, and they are going to double down even more. The air is getting thick again. You can see various members now. Actually, when Barco Duck just showed up, things turned around, and he is finding that one kill. Can he translate that into second one here? Turk has to tread carefully here. He does not want to get caught out. Mark Boots is in the bot lane, in fact, trying to secure a turret, but Blind is on the rotation. Rift Herald dropped over the top side, and Threadripper securing the red buff. They are taking away a lot of stuff here from both sides, actually, but maybe the answer is finally here. Blind flashes forward. Mark Boots is very fast, quick as a bunny.
Oh
drops the chaos arm, zapping away Blind. The damage coming through. Can you not do it? No! Mark Boots walking away with the double. And yeah, you might say this game is over, but we got a lot more at hand here. We still yet to see that mid game. 20 minutes on the clock, and Castle is still performing like it's 5 minutes.
Oh my god. Mid game, this Victor's in late game. Mark Boots, what was that? The damage that he's able to outplaying two people. Yuna and Blindside, I think they got Blindside on that one. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do at this point in time? The Udyr picks is not working out. Can we just say that? Like, it hasn't been doing what you want it to do. Especially this Blind. Blind has been having to struggle on this Aatrox pick for so long, and it's so devastating to see that it was their R5 pick too. It was their R5.
That was my big question mark, honestly, with this team composition, right? As you said, you wanted to see something with HP. I thought maybe Aatrox could do it with the Yuumi on his back, but unfortunately, he just got punished over and over again. And Aatrox is not doing a very good job holding down the line right now, unfortunately, for Blind. 0, 6, and 2 on pick. Burndrinker's there, and Thread just going in. Yuna, a lot of trouble.
Yuna has no backup there. Everybody is doing overtime elsewhere on the map. They have so much on their plate. They can't even help out their members who are getting caught out there, even though Lexus is like literally the fastest champion on the map right now with Udyr E, the Ghost. He could be anywhere he wanted to be. But speaking of that, they are going to collapse on Castle. Castle's going to take a little bit here. All for one, going to have to flash away, but this kill is looking good so far. The pressure is cooking at an all-time high. You see ROTM now going in. Go Bark. Go Duck. Gets that kill. That's a second time he's been able to down the Seraphine. Seraphine has no help. Turk is that peel champion, sometimes the frontliner too as well. This time around was not in the vicinity to help out the Seraphine.
Yeah, Barco Duck is doing what he can right now to leverage this game into their favor. It's hard though. It's an uphill battle to climb, but he has the backup to be able to do it. And no matter how many times All for One dies, he's still ending up useful for the team because he is just essentially a support. He already has his mythic item.
Yeah. I mean, this is gonna come down to the wire, I feel like, because at one hand, yes, you got this weak side top lane for a return to the middle six, but their bot lane is just carrying the weight of it, especially on the shoulders of the Seri. Barco Dog hasn't died a single time. They just need to keep that up, keep the pressure up, and just pray that Yuna will scale with those never-ending AP stacks and just be able to put yourself back on the map, back on the rotations. Because for all it's worth, Lexus is still a champion. This Udyr is still able to zone out players, given the positioning, given the how fast the Udyr could also contest these objectives.
Yeah, reporting in on the Veigar with 200 stacks right now, 22 minutes in the game. Not completely ideal. You probably want to have more than that. Maybe 300, but unfortunately, skirmishes just not really been working out for the side of Return Middle Sticks as Threadripper may have gone too deep. Oh my
Lexus is just wasting a lot of time walking there, actually waiting for Threadripper to see him on the other side, and now Threadripper notices he has made a mistake going into the wrong territory, onto the wrong man, and that's a huge shutdown actually, but a shutdown is worth it. That's gonna be the first Baron on the map. Team Ambition Black lose no sight at what's at hand. They are just gonna down that Baron like it's nothing.
Yep, they're gonna take that for themselves. It doesn't matter if they have lower objective time damage. This time they're able to deal with it very cleanly because they have constant DPS with the Victor now. It's at this point Mark Boots absolutely
Mhm.
absolutely monstrous on this champion. 6 stacks also on his Dark Seal, so really on the way to being this monster Victor that we know him for. Like we saw him. That's the thing about Mark Boots, right? We saw him do flashy plays on the Silas, and now he's holding it down on the Mage. The versatility is something that's really important if you're a mid laner.
He's doing 12 CS per minute, this guy. I mean, he's on steroids. Barco Duck now over in the mid lane trying to secure.
Going for something.
But this is a scrappy fight. I don't know if they
Oh,
really
no,
want to go
Gormist.
all for one on the back foot now, and now Lexus going in. This is do or die. Return to the middle six are
Go
making
for
it
more.
happen, but all the way from the back line is Marcus. He wants to get these kills. Look at Turk. He's sidestepping this
Yes, right.
beautifully done, buying enough time for Marcus to get in on the fight, but they are a man in. Oh, actually, they're not a man down. This is 1-for-1 so far. That's Yuna for all for one. Are they going to make it happen, though? Here comes Hookshot, Threadripper all the way in the front line, soaking up a lot of that damage. Throws out the Hexag ultimate. It is not looking good, though. Turk is dead as a duck. And Blind finding that kill finally. First one for him in the game, but Lexus getting zoned out, getting chunked low now. Yumi has nobody to attach to. That was a big mistake to go back in on the team fight, and that is going to be Mark Boots with the double kill. Team Ambition Black are way ahead of the curve.
Yeah, they're marching down right now towards the mid lane. They should at least be able to get a Nexus turret here, if not inhibitor. They do have Baron up minions, so they should be fine. Damage coming from Mark Boots auto attack onto the turret is way too much as well. So that's the first inhibitor gonna go down here on the side of Team Ambition Black, and they're just winning this game slowly but surely right now, choking the turn of the middle stakes out of this game, out of this series, and out of tournament point.
It's getting very close. It seems like Team Ambition Black, they can almost taste
Yeah,
the
they
finish
smell blood
line.
in
They
the
can almost
water.
taste that victory here. They want to finish first at RA. The first season, the first split that they join, and they're performing really, really good. I mean, Team Ambition Black have been putting in the work. You can see Return of the Middle Sticks. They had the initial good engage, but they kept fighting. They kept fighting. They thought that they had what it takes. It was, in fact, the other way around. Yuna being down just dented their damage.
Yeah,
output
they didn't have as much DPS.
heavily.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
You know, Yuna's essential in getting DPS, getting the burst damage down. Otherwise, Bargo Duck, he's doing what he can, but he's 3 levels down on Threadripper right now, and there's only so much you can do. Mark Boots is level 17.
Yeah, this is why you banned the Victor. This is
This is
in
why
one
I
word.
Victor.
You
This is why I
banned the
banned
Victor. That's it. Like I said, in order of importance, it's Victor, Salas. Speaking of that, question mark
Wait,
as to
wait,
why the
what?
Zeri just went in like that. That was an interesting take on that. I mean, you could arguably say that was an in, not going to cost him the game. Maybe here comes Exec Ultimate. This is championship point. This is match point, game point. Is this going to be do or die? Yuna trying to make something happen, but they cannot do it. At the end of the day, they're going to get collapsed on Akata. Doesn't have
Might
anybody
be
to
it.
leech on to a second time in a row, and this might be it, ladies and gentlemen. Team Ambition Black may be able to finish first here. Lexus in the fountain. Throw out the Ram is okay. It's definitely not okay. They do not look that good. It's going to be clean sweep. It's going to be beyond. Rising fountains of blood and violence emerge. Team Ambition Flag over on top.
What an amazing game. What an amazing series coming from Team Ambition Black. A well-deserved victory from them. From taking down the defending champions in the semifinals to absolutely clean sweeping this final, grand final. Only the last few ticks left on the next turn, and that's going to be it. It's going to be over, and it's going to be Team Ambition Black taking the third semester of Runeterra Academy Senior Division. What an amazing performance from them.
Yeah, thanks, Miles. You made me lose my points. But it's all good. You guys remember, we're giving a lot of RP away. That means that for every, I believe, how many points is it? You got to have a lot of points, right? You could get 10 tickets max. So, you know, go in or go home right now at this point in time. But congratulations to Team Ambition Black. Clap in the chat, some hype. Let's go. They are indeed undefeated. They do so. They make it look so easy, Miles. In fact, it maybe wasn't. It had a lot of hard work, blood and sweat and tears for them to be able to finish first in RA. Congratulations to them, to their squad, and to the
Yeah.
MVPs. I mean, we might even have the votes up right now as to who is our finals MVP. With that said, a great run for Return of the Middle Sticks. They finished second. It's not
Yeah.
that bad, but you always want to be the first, right? And you saw glimpses of what they could do, Miles. They were so close. We even were rooting for them at that point.
Yeah, I was definitely rooting for them in that game too. Sorry for the casters are biased, guys. All right, deal with it. Deal with it. But we want to see some entertaining games. Like sweeps are great, especially for the team. But you want to see that best of 5 where both teams are definitely struggling. But in this series, I don't think it's any question. Team Ambition Black was the better team.
Yep. It's no doubt about it. Team Ambition Black deserve the crown, deserve the seat that they are in right now. And with that said, I cleared it now. You have 1K for each ticket. So if you got 10K, you get 10 tickets.
Yeah.
Here's a little math class for you. So 10 minutes to enter, ladies and gentlemen. So with that said, I got 1K. I'm gonna be the odd one out with 1 ticket. Thanks to Miles here on the cast. It's all good, man. It was just so fun casting with you, bro.
Wait, what's the command for redeeming? I want to redeem too.
Yeah, what's the command? What's the command, guys, to redeem the points? Do we put raffle? Exclamation mark raffle, or what is it? I put it in. Did I?
Everyone
All
knows
right.
except us.
Everyone knows
It's
except
in
the
the-
casters. Who needs the casters to get tickets anyway, bro? It's
It's
all
in
good.
the RA point redemption area.
Oh, okay, I see it. I see it.
Should be bottom right.
In that case, I can redeem 10 actually. I have 12,000 points. I'll give you the I'll give you the RP since I don't use my NA account that much.
It's all good, man. If I
The
even
win
got the
trading
RP, I don't even know what I would get. I would probably get a Volibear skin, dude. Look at all the people getting tickets, man. Where were you all in the predictions? I did not see that many people in the predictions, but there it is, man. Finals are in the books. Round of applause, obviously. Cheers to Team Ambition Black. Mark Boots, you might be the MVP, bro. I don't know. Do we even got an MVP vote coming in? I think we do. We had the polls. We are going to do an interview soon, actually. Matter of fact, you should actually stay tuned for that. It's going to be a banger of an interview. With that said, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with the interview, and then we're going to close out with the giveaways. So stay tuned for that. And welcome back, everybody. On the casting desk here, we got team members from Team Ambition Black actually waiting for this interview. Me and Miles
Hmm.
are ready to go here. First and foremost, congrats on this impressive win. Team Ambition Black have RA title now to brag about. How was the split for your team, as it is the first time that we are seeing you here in Runeterra Academy?
Mark,
You
Yeah.
guys
you
can
do
take.
it. Oh, okay,
Mark
I'll go.
Boots.
It's the this was our first time in RA, but we've seen some of these teams before in like other leagues and stuff.
Mhm.
The league itself honestly has run really well, and it was really fun, like with the stats and everything, and just
Mm.
like it's a league with banter again, where as like UAL and the other leagues, no one really interacts with each other, so just like seeing everyone type and interact was also pretty cool. So it was a pretty fun time throughout the split.
I see.
Yeah, there's this exclusive. Sorry, man. There's an exclusive chat, Miles. Did you see that? There, it's like there. I've never seen seniors talk that much amongst themselves
Yeah,
in
that's
other leagues as
true.
well. It's really
That's
fun to
true.
get their input on them as well. But what
Yeah.
were you going to say?
I was gonna ask if there were like when you came into the split at the start, were there any teams that you guys were like really focused on, preparing against, or like any teams that you necessarily like? No, I don't want to say feared, but some teams that you like really wanted to beat. You know what I mean?
We knew coming into it that MGM was pretty good, and they were honestly kind of the scariest team. Even when we ended up losing our last regular season game, we weren't really too worried about Glue in particular because we kind of just drafted like idiots versus them. We didn't actually think it would be too hard to beat them in a finals, but we kind of expected to go against them in finals. But yeah, honestly, the only team we really had any like I wouldn't say fear, but like second guesses on was probably MGM.
Mm. You guys played
Alright.
them last week, actually, and that game went to the distance, went to 5 games, right? It came down to the wires. So, what was different about that game that you guys struggled with? Because today it just looked completely different. You guys, it's a clean sweep victory, 3-0. It's something you guys can even brag about, right? So, what was that from? What happened in semifinals against MGM that you guys were struggling with? That was you guys worked on today.
I think when it came to MGM, they were just really proactive around the map. Like they would make us have to do these really awkward
Mm.
rotations half the time, and they would be setting something up. So they were pretty well versed as like a team. So versing like mid like actually felt like a
Mhm.
real like a unit. Like if they gave up bot side or something like that, yeah, like we knew basically that it was gonna be a good match no matter what I should say. But yeah,
Yeah.
that
Who was that? Who was that?
that, that,
That's
that
our
was
top
our
laner.
top lane.
That
That was
was
our
our
top
Aatrox
laner.
one trick.
I see.
Yeah,
I
that
see.
was
Aatrox,
our top
is
laner.
that Demon King Sam? Because I think I've seen him play the Aatrox. And no
Yeah.
wonder
Yeah.
enemy team wanted to get the
Yeah,
Aatrox because he's a
that's his
menace.
Atrox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you guys made
Yeah.
it look super easy here today. But going back to the point of the semifinals and today as well, what are some things that you guys had problems with during the split that you were like, okay, number one thing we need to work through that?
Mm,
We suck at drafting. Like we
Bad
used
at
to have like a
adapting.
lot of we had a lot of first picks, and then
Mhm,
but they were all junglers. So we used to have a ton of junglers. We could just first pick and either like flex it to top, or the jungler was just too strong to where it wouldn't matter if it was first pick.
mhm,
Mm.
And then they nerfed like three of them, and then there was only Heck Lee Sin, and every team just started banning both of them. And
Uh,
we didn't really have a very good strategy when they would just ban both of them until we lost a couple games with that happening.
yeah, we really sucked on blue side.
but you guys
Yeah.
showed up now.
you guys, yeah,
That's
you guys
good.
showed up on blue side today.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Castle, what was that? What was that pathing, my guy? First and
Yeah,
foremost,
let's
like
yeah.
congratulations. Let me tackle that on real quick. Obviously, you went and you invaded first and foremost the red, but you decided not to clear the full top side. Why was that for?
Because I don't know, I didn't know if they had that information on me because I don't have scanner, so I didn't know if they placed like a ward late. And
Okay.
also, if they don't have that information on me, then it's just more important for me to get back to my bot side so I can protect it. And it looks
Mhm,
like either they had the information and the Udyr misplayed, or they didn't have the information. Because I don't know why Udyr got my Raptors and only my Raptors. So,
mhm.
uh,
yeah,
yeah,
It made it to
I
you
think it's
late,
just
actually.
yeah.
yeah, I think it's just important for me to get back to my bot side so I can protect it, or I can just clear my top side and split the map, and we don't really care about split map when we have a Seraphine,
Mhm,
Mm,
because we're playing weak side bot anyway. So
yeah.
no matter what the Udyr responds with, once I get the red and the Raptors, it's going to be
You're so
favorable for
talented.
us.
Got you.
That's
So
fair,
you got your
that's fair.
priorities right.
My question for you guys, bouncing off that, did you guys do any like special preparations going into this matchup? Do you guys have any targets specifically that you guys wanted to make sure never got out of control?
Mm,
What do you
We
think,
just know
Mark?
their
I
AD
mean,
is their best
Yeah.
player,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
other
We
than that, we
Okay.
just banned Trent in
Yeah,
here because
I
our
don't know what
top
that
laner
last
has
play
a meta
was.
block.
yeah,
he
as long
kinda
as we ban the
flipped into our
Tryndamere,
team.
dude, we're good to go.
Yeah. I'm sure that's how we remember it, Castle.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
figured that they would play more bot side in this series, and that didn't always happen, but a fair amount it did. So we basically just accepted that we were going to be playing weak side for the majority of it, and then just play hard to strong side top and mid hopefully too, and worked out.
All right, it's good to hear. You got
Well,
any more questions?
actually, Mark Boots, how you make it look so easy? I mean, who else got it like that, right? Who else? Who else could play Silas on a 1v4? That bot lane play, actually, honestly, but that reminds me of you last year. You're still playing very, very good on this Silas, but now you've been even playing better with the Victor. Obviously, people are target banning you every time you play, and that Victor is gone. And how did it feel like to get it last game?
Yeah, it felt good. I mean, when we saw that they didn't ban it in the first 3 picks, we were definitely thinking that Victor was a possibility, especially because they had picked Vigar. We were kind of expecting them to ban Victor after picking Vigar, but I think they banned like I know they banned Ari, I don't know. But it was just
They
kind of
didn't.
weird that they wanted to ban Victor early on in the past 2 games and then they picked Vigar and then they wouldn't ban it. It was just kind of weird, but yeah, I love Victor. Um, I like
That's it.
farming and just being strong in team fights. Yeah.
Zapping away opponents. That's it. I mean, you had at some point the Vagar had a 300 gold bounty, and you're just like, okay, that's not gonna matter. And without any kills, without anything, just purely in CS, you managed to get that lead back 150 gold bounty on yourself. And with that said, obviously. Everybody on your team also did very, very well. Turk, I gotta also give you credit.
Yeah,
Great
shout out to
roams.
Turk.
Shout out Turk as well. Great roams.
Oh,
So
Great
Old
job,
what's your
man
Grandpa.
champion
hands.
here?
The
Any
old man
champion you
hands.
play are gonna roam? Is that it?
yeah, pretty much for the most part. Yeah, All for One kind of accepts right away. He doesn't care too much about his KDA, so like pretty much no matter what, I'm just gonna be anywhere but bot lane for the most part. But yeah, no,
Whoa.
that felt good, especially getting the Nautilus and the Rakan for sure. I guess those champions just go really well with my playstyle. So
That's fair
All right,
enough.
and my last question for the squad here now is what's next for Team Ambition Black? What's on the horizon moving forward? And you guys have any shout outs, especially for the fans out there? There's a great number of people here in the Twitch chat as well who are out here supporting you. So any shout outs to them as well?
Well,
Yeah.
for
wants
what
to
we're
go
doing
first?
next, we're
Hey,
Uh,
shout out
first
to
ambition.
Elvis. Mascot. Thank you,
Shout-
Mascot. I fuck with Elvis.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll try
we're
that
in
again.
we're in quarterfinals of UAL on Thursday. Our game should be at 8 o'clock. I'm not sure if it's streamed or not, but definitely keep up with our team in UAL. We're looking to, obviously we've already won Runeterra. We're looking to take UAL as well. Keep up with Team Ambition in general. There's a lot of teams. They're all pretty successful. And as for shout outs, I'd like to shout out Bean, our team mascot, and any of our friends who have been watching. And would anyone else like to give shout outs?
And God.
Yeah. And you know what? And also, let me give a personal shout out to Coach Mitch and Coach Jiggity. We actually didn't have a coach up until last week, and we were not feeling good last week. But
Oh.
Jiggity and Mitch came in, and they
some of
really
us weren't
just
feeling good last week.
yeah. Actually, it was really
Yeah,
just me.
it was
I was
mainly
a
our
little
mid
bit.
laner. Even
Okay.
though Jiggity and Mitch were pretty much worthless,
But
they
no.
still were able to drag us
Yeah,
past the finish
okay,
line.
buddy.
No, they put us in a good mood. And they just, they opened up our minds to some creative picks that were able to get us a victory and get us into the finals. So now I'll
Nautilus.
pass it on to everyone else.
Thank you, Mark.
Uh,
Thank
Who
you.
wants to go?
you got any shout outs,
I'll
Turk?
go. Yeah, I'll go. I got a bunch of guys watching from GAN, the hometown that I grew up in Canada.
Oh.
So I want to give a big shout out to those guys. So thank you
Oh.
so much for watching there.
Old
That's
man.
Are you
awesome.
you're at the
I got my
nursing home with them
cousin.
right now?
Yeah. I got my cousin watching too. So no, I just want to give a shout out to those guys, to the staff, obviously our two coaches who have done so much for us. The boys as well. I really enjoy playing with the squad. So yeah, I guess
Thank you.
that's pretty much it. Oh, and actually, no, that's not it, because I want to give a shout out to the admins
God.
of Runeterra. the work that you guys did. I think it's amazing, and I want to give a shout out to you guys as well for casting. Thank you very much for doing that.
Hey, what a humble guy here. Thank you so much for you guys as well. Great stuff coming out. Did we leave anybody else out? Who else wants to?
I think we forgot our AD.
Any girlfriends and moms out there
Oh,
watching
I have
or
one more
anybody?
shout out actually. Sorry.
Who is it?
Shout out to Soju / Kane Iru.
Yeah, I don't think we.
Canary,
I don't think
Canary's the love of my
guys.
life.
And Stevie.
Oh, shout out to Stebby as
Oh yeah,
well.
shout out Stabby. She submits our matches and stuff.
Shout out to Proof Cass and Miles David.
Hey, all right,
Red.
my friend.
We
And
appreciate
Hey,
he
yeah,
it.
did
Red.
all.
I hope Red is still watching. He says he's not watching. I want to see him watching. I want to see proof of him watching. Anyway, with that
Red's a
said, ladies
beast.
and
Red's one of the greatest fucking admins in the world.
I believe.
True.
I believe.
Dude, excuse your damn language, man. Excuse
Oh.
that shit.
I forgot. my bad.
All right, this is our sign here. Thank you all for coming out here. That has been Team Ambition Black. With that
Yeah.
said, we're gonna let that sink in a little bit here. And Miles, you got any last words here before we concluded the stream? Because it has been one wild run. You had some medical stuff happening like last week.
Yeah,
You didn't join us. It's all
so-
good.
So far, we have never casted a game that wasn't a sweep. Maybe next
Mhm.
season we'll actually cast some games that go all the way. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I had the best time here over the course of weeks. It's been a
Same,
real
same.
blast. All the players who I have had the pleasure of watching exceeded my expectations. Special thanks to those who support casters like myself and Miles. It goes a long way. I hope I could return here future splits. Be sure to stay connected with me on Twitter, Proofcast, and at Miles. What's your Twitter?
Miles David 17, guys, come
All right.
come
We're
give a
peacing out.
follow.
Hey, that's nice, man. Thank you all for supporting and have a good night. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves and peace out. Oh, wait a minute. Not peace out yet. I debated. PVS
All right,
wants to say
congrats to
something.
Tiger 5804 for winning the draw.
Oh wait, he actually won.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah, the
did.
draw. Who won that?
He did type. That is
Tiger.
Tiger.
Hey, Tiger. Full
Shout out.
circle, baby.
Shout out.
Let's go.
He was giving some good analysis in Twitch chat too. Good stuff, Tiger. Nice to see you.
Hey. All right. Well, I guess we'll see what he spends it on. With that said,
Yes.
good night, everybody.
Spending on
Peace
luck
out.
skins, I bet.
Spending, yeah, Luxkins. Dude, yeah, he's bot lane Lux. All right, buddy. Good night. Peace out. I watch tomorrow's games.